Welcome, barbarians, bards, and barnacles besties to episode 10 of Dion Rising! Hello! This right here is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play campaign brought to you by the Knights of D20. Such a mouthful.
So true, though.
So true, though. As always, before I start throwing fireballs everywhere, we have a few announcements brought to you by the man who I assume is the product of an unholy union between a siren and a sleep paralysis demon. Bobby, if you would be so kind.
That's such an accurate depiction. So as Kara said, this is in fact a live play of 5th edition D&D. So obviously today you're here with us for our 5th edition, but tomorrow you can hang out with me and Dane as we talk about actions and combat and how they work in the Int Mod Pod. We're going to teach you all about that. We get into some really good discussions about how to break combat just a little bit. And then I'm going to flip days just a little bit. On Friday, we have the Casting Friendship podcast with Caramel, and they will also be joined by Dane, where they will be talking about crunchy versus soft, kind of combat versus roleplay, the hardcoreness of each of them. So tune in there. We're going to have Dane so many times today talking about, this week talking about combat. On Wednesday, we're going to have tea time with Melanie, as always, and she will be joined by Royal. We're super excited about that. No surprises this week. And then for book club, originally we had told you that we were going to be releasing the book on Friday, but I remembered that sometimes it takes more than 30 seconds for Amazon to get you your book. And I wanted to make sure everyone had enough time to read with us. So Kara will actually be dropping a TikTok at some point this week where she will reveal to us the smutty delicious bringing to the very specific fantasy book club. So head over to our TikTok, make sure you follow us there to keep up to date with what book we're going to be reading, as well as some other little fun things that we've been working on for TikTok specifically. Also on Friday, you all know me, Kara, and Royal. We like to play video games. Most of the time it's Baldur's Gate. Sometimes it's not. But we did just start a new playthrough because our last one had corrupted files, but we have all kinds of fun mods this time. So come join us. It's going to be a great time. And with that, we're going to go back to Kara, our dungeon mother.
Thank you, Bobby. And as always, thank you all again for joining us as we embark on an epic adventure in the world of Dion, where heroes rise, dangers abound, and legends are born. Players, dice at the ready. In Session 9, the Saints of Tuzankin escaped the aftermath of a fight for their lives in the House of Paramnesia and retreated into the sewers beneath the city to seek out the mysterious Darkdown. Not without the usual amount of trauma incurred at the behest of 2 basilisks, they finally managed to find their quarry, a strange, cursed humanoid who was once memory mage Yurika Fellshade. Now calling herself Darkdown, the creature and the party seemed to come to a very tentative understanding when she revealed that she was mixed up with the U Union, as Zada calls the uninvited, unyielding, unstoppable cult. She convinced the party, for now, to bring her to the southern city of Suntepeli, where a mysterious item of interest to the cult might be hidden. With much trepidation, the group split, with most of the gang heading back to the surface, leaving Zada to keep an eye on Darkdown until they can meet outside the sewer drain and outside the curious eyes of Tuzankin's population. That's where we pick up tonight. Zada, you find yourself alone with Darkdown. After your friends left 10 minutes ago, the cursed woman spent about 7 minutes staring at you, silently. Just when you were about to attempt to break the tension with a conversation, she suddenly leaps sideways, hanging from her toe claws down toward the water of the sewer, and fetches something up, and comes swinging herself back up. And she's holding like a very drenched mantle, just dripping with, sewer water. You being Leonin can smell what it's dripping with. And she looks at you out the corner of her giant eye for a minute. And then she comes sidling up to you. She's like using her knuckles to drag herself along. For some reason, she's just dragging her legs behind her right now, coming over toward you. And she holds up this mantle in front of you. And she looks around it and she says, "You, friend of gods? You prestidigitate? You make clean for Darkdown?" She shakes it.
I'm like, no, I can't clean it. I can make it bright, but I can't clean it.
Right for Darkdown?
Sure, I'll cast light on it for her.
She lets out this horrible squeal. It's still wet, so she takes it and she like lays it on the ground and starts like using her like forearm to like squeegee the water out of it against the stone, trying to get it dry. But it is nice and bright now, so she's thankful for that.
All I got.
What would you like to do? She's kind of preparing herself for bed.
Zada is going to be pretty just sitting there, pretty uncomfortable. His claws are still going to be all out, like his claws like ready for her to do anything like violent or anything like that, and he's just like gonna watch her just like every movement, and then she goes to sleep, he's just gonna stay up and watch her because he don't trust her.
Okay. We move up. It's been about 15 minutes. Tell me about how the rest of you made your way out of the sewer.
Did we go out the
we
same way
walked.
we came in? Yeah.
Prestidigitating along the way.
Naturally. Of course. Okay, yeah, you all make your way back the way you came, passing the bodies of the two basilisks that you slew last session. And you make your way back up the ladder, and Bula opens back up the large sewer grate and pokes her head up and takes a look around. It appears the fire has been mostly put out, if not burned itself out. The House of Paramnesia appears to be burned to the foundation, to the stone. Some of the stone is still standing, but much of it has collapsed in upon itself as the wood beams inside burned. The third floor has collapsed into the second floor, which has collapsed down into the first floor. And you see a few copper cloaks standing around, kind of taking statements from passerbys, but kind of finishing up the work and trying to figure out what happened here.
Do they see us pop out of the sewers?
They're facing away from you at this moment. They're facing toward the house, and you kind of ran into this like sort of square, this like town square area. So you're behind them by like 100 yards.
Okay.
And wait till they're all turned away, and then I'll get out as quickly as possible. So I don't see me at least do that.
Okay. You're able to do so. Do the rest of you follow?
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as the coast is clear, or they're not
I'll make
looking.
sure the grate gets put back behind us.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, they are facing away. There's only like 3 of them. One of them is up like near the house, like he's got the front doors open. He's kind of trying to see how far he can go into the house now that the flames have been extinguished. He's just kind of sort of just inside the door. There's not far he can go in before the collapsed floor of the first 2 or the second 2 stories is just in the way, blocking entrance into the house. So he's sort of inside the door, and the other 2 are standing there, kind of talking amongst themselves.
We don't want to tell them anything, right? Okay.
Like,
I
keep
think
everything.
we don't really want to be seen right now.
Then maybe let's make our way out of here.
Are we heading back to the Banshee?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. Yeah, we need to talk about what we're going to do, because this doesn't seem as simple as it. It just doesn't seem simple. I guess it seems very difficult, and it's obviously so. We cannot travel through this town or anywhere outside of town with this thing.
Well, I can't talk about traveling or anything else until I get something to eat. And I definitely need a drink to get rid of that vision from my brain.
You and me both. Let us make our way back to the Buoyant Banshee.
Okay. As you all are, you don't want to walk straight past Eureka's house again and end up in the line of sight of the guards, so you kind of like double back to go sort of around a block to keep out of their sight. But just as you're all going around a corner, Seraphina, you hear, snail killer, what are you doing here?
I will smooth my hair and turn around. Hi, who is it? Colgar?
Cooler. Goes, my lady, what are you doing in this part of town?
Oh, well, we're just having a night out and we're about to head home and grab a few drinks. Would you like to come with us?
Well, I need to finish up here and go turn in my paperwork, but where are you drinking? Maybe I'll swing by.
Well, we're just headed back to the Buoyant Banshee.
Love the Banshee. You
Oh,
say
you've
hey to
been
Barnum
there?
for me. Hey, I'm a regular.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I hope to see you there later tonight.
Yeah, I'll be seeing you. Don't worry. He goes back to work. Go ahead. He pauses. You're about to say something.
Yeah, so what kind of paperwork are you working on?
He's like, oh, house fire stuff, trying to figure out if there's bodies. I thought about being a firekeeper when I was younger, but I wanted to live a little bit more dangerously,
I feel like you're living that journey right now.
Oh yeah, are you dangerous?
You can find out.
I wish I could keep that straight face.
Bula just like snorts real loud and real gross, and then she walks past Seraphina and almost kind of knocks her over with her shoulder.
I think,
Oh, my lady!
Ada's-
Oh, he catches you.
Oh, thank you for catching me.
I think
That's all
Ada's
I'm saying.
standing like in a circle with them with just a look of disgust on his face, looking back and forth as they talk to each other.
Killian's gonna
my-
walk by, just kind of ignoring this conversation, but as he passes by, he's just gonna be like, Seraphina, is that a dragon in your pants, or are you just happy to see him and just keep going?
She turns bright red and smooths out her skirts.
He looks down, and your little dragon, your little white dragon's head is poking out from between your legs. And he goes, "Oh, that really is a dragon. I thought he was. Never mind. Forget what I thought. I don't remember you having a little pet. That's pretty cute."
Oh,
He just gave birth to him.
You're gonna have to tell me more about that over a drink.
Yeah, well, if you buy me one, we can certainly chat more.
I'll be there as soon as I'm off work, honey.
Oh, look forward to it.
He goes, I really do have to go back to work, though. The captain's gonna come by any minute. And if he's flirting again, I'm gonna he like rushes off.
Bye.
Well, Seraphina, I hope that you inviting that very handsome guard to have a drink with us doesn't bring any attention from the city guard to our group.
Oh, I think so.
He's literally a part of the city guard. It was a joke.
He's cool. He's cool.
Yeah.
He'll keep our secrets.
We don't
I don't
even
know
him.
much of. I don't know much about this, but I think attention from the city guards is exactly what Seraphina's after.
As long as it stops with her. Let's hope he's very attentive to her and not to us.
He'll be more than distracted, don't you worry.
And I'll walk away. I'm going back.
Bula's already like halfway down the road.
Wow, okay. Yeah, you all continue your loop around and head back toward the Buoyant Banshee, where you find... you walk in, and it's really kind of a sight to behold, because you're used to walking in and finding Barnacle drinking with his buddies in the bar, in the regulars, cutting it up. But this time Barnacle is behind the bar, And he's like, you see him like disappear behind the bar and bring up like hands full of little pieces of glass and stuff, like picking up a broken plate or something. And Hattie is like falling off of a bar stool laughing. There's a couple patrons that are like, do it again, do it again. That's what you walk into.
Bula's just gonna go in and she's gonna kind of saddle up on the seat next to Hattie and just kind of hoist her up a little bit so she doesn't fall over. And she's just gonna say, "Hey, what are we drinking tonight?"
Here. She like sits herself up and leans back as if the bar stool has a backrest, and it does not. And she starts to fall back.
She catches her. Bula gets
Grab her back up. She says, we got a new kind of bourbon, and it is, from the bourbon region of Francais. Delicious.
Bula tries to get yes, Hattie's husband.
Barnacle.
Thank you. Why is my brain not working? She gets Barnacle's attention. She says, "I'll have some of that bourbon, but I think this one needs some water."
He says, well, we know it's not poisoned because my wife hasn't died yet and she drank 2 bottles on her own, if you could believe it. She says, 2.5, Barnacle.
Oh, you're my kind of girl right here.
Give us another round, honey. And he shakes his head and he like scoops all the glass he just collected into a bucket to throw out later and starts pouring another round. And he looks at Hattie and he says, if you throw another plate at the wall as if there's a dartboard there, you're cut off. And she's like, you can't cut me off. I'm here. And he pours you both. He pours you a taller glass than he pours for his wife. But she doesn't notice because he's pouring hers in like a really tall, thin glass instead of a nice fat one. She's like, oh, it's a tall glass, thank you. Barnacle says, well, I hope you all have had a calmer night than I have. What's going on?
Just dealing with a long day of exploring the city. You know, we've only been here a short time, and it seems that a lot of things has happened since we've been here. Festival, other stuff.
Festival and other stuff.
Can I get a drink?
This is me at every single restaurant I go to.
Life stuff.
Life stuff. What's on? Yeah. Ados will go secure their usual table. You know, the one in the corner. It's like the Goodfellas booth.
Yes. For sure. Yeah. Barnacle just like gives you a bottle of the bourbon Bula and says like, we're gonna pretend this is the last one of this bourbon for the night, and you're gonna drink it for me so that she doesn't. And Hattie at this point is like trying to like spin the stool that she's on, but it does not spin, so she's just kind of like rocking it back and forth, slowly scooting it in a circle.
Bula just kind of has a hand on the back of her shirt so she doesn't fall over, but she's letting her do whatever she wants. She just want to make sure she don't fall. And she tells him, don't worry, I got this.
He says, I'm glad she cuts loose sometimes. Helps her deal with my shit.
Little bit of bourbon never hurt anybody.
That's what they say, and that's what keeps me in business. Cheers. He slams the drink down and shoots at himself. And as you're walking away over toward your usual booth, he goes, Hattie, we really need to talk tomorrow when we're both sober about how we have to stop drinking the inventory. She's like, but not tonight. And they're cutting it up a little bit, having fun. And you all settle in with some drink.
So-
I'm going to be making sure that all of the flowers that I put in Serafina's hair are super nice and healthy and vibrant, so that when the Coolguard comes, she looks extra most prettiest.
She does. Roll a sleight of hand. See exactly how pretty you can make her.
It's going to be relatively pretty. It looks like it's a 16.
Oh,
That's pretty.
yeah, she's radiant. She's
Oh.
sparkling.
Where I'm
Nice.
from in the Feywild, this is how all the ladies used to wear their hair.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you.
The little dragon has, once you like settled into the booth and Marway started working on you, your little dragon crawled out from under the booth, under everybody's legs, and like hopped up onto a table and then onto a high top and then kind of scurried up this little like decoration, this little like ship's wheel that decorates the wall, and is like hanging from a chandelier over top of you all. Like it's just like laying there and just looking down at you and on this slowly swinging chandelier. Just kind of hanging.
Serafina, you better get that thing under control.
Oh, it's having a good time. Everybody else is just letting loose.
Better up there than down here knocking over our drinks, I say.
Hey, don't be rude.
Is everybody sitting at the booth?
Yeah,
I
Killian
believe
is.
so.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
everybody.
So what do you think, Killian? What do you think we should do about this DD situation?
Well, I think we should have dealt with it down in the sewers, to be quite honest.
No.
What
She had
are
a
they
cute
saying?
little creepy smile.
What is the DD?
I'm gonna whisper, down, dark. The creature we just talked to in the sewers.
Oh,
I'm
she's
trying-
so cute.
But we don't want to speak too loudly of her because the Union, the U Union, or whatever Zalda calls them, is on the look for her. So that's why I'm calling her DD for now.
And we don't know where this union has eyes and ears in the city.
Exactly.
Marway's gonna look around to see if any of the walls have eyes or ears on them.
Roll a perception check.
And Adis is going to look around for eyes and ears attached to heads.
Roll a perception check.
Okay. Yeah, just if anybody's around to listen.
Gonna be a 22.
22.
That's going to kick my ass. Let's see.
There's a taxidermied fish staring right at you.
Oh my goodness.
Ugh.
Idols, it's watching us.
It's long dead. I promise. I'll reach up and knock it. See, it's just for decoration. We like to
Please
decorate
move.
with dead things down here.
It
That's
starts
really
singing a
weird.
song.
Oh,
For-
God! What song does it sing? What are the lyrics?
A sea shanty. It sings the Ballad of the Bitch Queen.
It's a good song, but normally they don't move. You see, this is a novelty item.
It's so cute, but it's a little weird that you take dead things and make them perform for you.
Hey, I'm right there with you. I would never buy this kind of thing, but you know, if you're ever looking for a Yuletide gift, it's a surefire way. Do I see? Oh, I got a.
What do you roll? A 7?
That's a whole points. Yeah.
7 whole points. There's people in here, and you're like feeling pretty paranoid. So you don't feel very safe to be talking too loudly. But you also don't pinpoint any one person. You're just like, I don't know, something about Barnacle rubs me the wrong way tonight. You're just a little paranoid. It's been a weird night.
Try to collect myself and shake it off. I'll just continue speaking lowly. Well, we need to get. We got her out of the city. That's been solved. But are we going to travel on foot? How long was it going to take? Days? 3 days or something?
Well,
And
Suntepeli's
surely
all
not
the
through
way.
the sewers.
Suntepeli's at the very southern edge of the middle continent. It would take us a very long time to get there, and I don't think we could hide her for the entire trip down there.
No, a lot could happen. There's too many variables. We don't know who's on that road, how populated it is. Anything could happen. We are in a port town. What if we took a boat?
That would cut the journey considerably.
Maybe we should.
You mean like on water?
Don't tell me you're afraid of water.
It's not really a fear. It's more that I don't know how to swim very well. I don't really have. You have the fleshy little feet that do the scoopy scoop, and I've got the little cloppy hoofs, and they don't really do water very well.
Well, if we've got a boat, Marway, you shouldn't be in the water.
The idea is
That's
to
a
stay
very
in it.
good point.
If you're in the water when we've got a boat, we've got other problems.
Well, I've never been on a boat, so I guess it could be quite a bit of fun.
Well, the point is that you're actually on the boat.
Well, I guess, as long as there's not any cute fish that want to do a swim with me.
Maybe you should stay below deck for this one.
Mm-hmm.
The ocean is known for its cute fish, I'm afraid. But, yeah, what do you all think of that?
I would love to take a cruise to Suntepeli. I
This
can't
is
wait to go
going to
back.
be so much fun.
Well, once again, there's the matter of the double D and bringing them anywhere. Just anywhere, given their general appearance and terrifying aura they're giving off.
Well,
We can find a disguise for her.
I feel like the boat would be better for that because I don't know how many men it takes to crew a ship, but surely it's fewer than the number of people will pass by on the road. So if we could just get her by, I don't know, how many people? 7? Has anybody been on a boat? I guess I've been on a boat.
It's going to take a little bit more than 7, I believe, to charter a ship. Unless any of you have sailing experience.
No, I usually leave that to sailors. We used to have our own team to ship us around. I don't think I've ever seen the ocean. I usually just spend most of my time in my quarters, so not a lot of experience. We'll have to hire somebody.
I mean, I can paddle a canoe if we're going to go out fishing on a lake, but more than a creek? It's a little over my head.
Well, I think it might be best to find a crew that we can, whether we have to bribe them or something to keep them quiet, but I think the disguise is probably a good idea, Serafina, if you can find a way to disguise that thing.
I will do my best. I can go through my wardrobe and pull something together.
I might have something sit 7 feet in here. Like a short dress on her. What? Maybe if we're looking to secret away our friend on a boat, maybe we should ask the Thieves Guild. I'm sure that they have the resources, some sort of presence in the ports. Maybe they have a ship for hire that'll keep their mouths shut about this.
Well, if we're talking about smuggling, then I'm sure the Thieves Guild's probably the best bet to speak to.
And I think we are talking about smuggling. Okay. Well, when do we want to talk to Valka?
Well, I suppose tomorrow's as good as any, because Bula over here needs a little bit of food.
A little bit. I need a lot of bit of food.
As long as we don't make Rosada wait too long, we don't know what that thing is going to do. If it does anything, I'll say to Serafina, we just don't know it very well. So I would like to not make him wait as much as we have to.
So then, are we planning on setting out tomorrow then, or as soon as possible at the very soonest?
Maybe we should at least prepare the boat for tomorrow, so that way we can leave at first light.
First light the next day.
First light tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So you want to go wandering to the city at night?
Well, is nobody else concerned about Zada in the sewer with this creature?
Are we worried about Zada or are we worried about DD?
I'm worried about Zada specifically. I'm still not a fan of DD. Not quite sold on that, but I'm just one member of this party, and I understand that, and I will do my best to go with the flow, as they say. But I still don't trust the thing, and the quicker we can get to him and it, the safer I will feel, and the safer he'll be, I imagine, too. There are monsters in the sewer. Maybe one of us, or me, should go talk to Valka and work on securing a ship for the morning, and then leave at first light tomorrow morning.
Well, I can go with you, Eidos. Serafina has a hot date, and Bula needs to eat, so I can come with you to go see Valka.
Good. That would make me feel more secure.
I would very much like to accompany you on this.
Does everybody want to go?
Killing's gonna look over to Eidos. Just very slowly, just look over.
I
to
mean,
him.
Bula's going to do an eat. Serafina is meeting her with her gentleman friend. I mean, I could be of use to you. And Bula doesn't have to worry because I've got both of you to protect me.
Bula's gonna worry about you anyways.
Don't worry, I'm strong too. I can take care of myself.
What do you say, Bula? We'll take good care of him.
If you don't bring him back in one piece, you're gonna get real intimate with my axe.
It's not a relationship I'm looking to start.
Let's hope not.
Don't worry, we'll take great care of him. And Killing's just gonna flick the little dangly bits off of Marroway's horn.
I'll say, well, and I'll stand up from the booth and let's get this over with, I suppose. I don't want to be in this city at night longer than we have to. It is nighttime, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Hey, Killing's gonna
As
grab,
we're
I was gonna say, Killing's gonna grab a swig of the bourbon and kind of stand up with Eidos.
as we're getting ready to leave, I'm going to get Sir Lavender off of Bula's belt and carry him with me.
Bula, you watch him nervously as he goes to walk over with the other guys, and at that moment Barnacle says, Bula, I don't think Hattie's in any shape to cook, but you're welcome to hit the kitchen yourself if you need something.
She looks toward the kitchen, but looks back at Marway. Towards the kitchen, back at Marway. Just squints real hard at Killian and Eidos.
Roll for intimidation.
OMG! That'd be a 2.
She's too hungry.
Your stomach growls and it really cuts the tension.
It's like, Eidos will kind of give her a salute. It's like, don't worry, we'll take care of him.
She wants to be angry at them, but secretly she does trust them. She just doesn't really want them to know that, so it doesn't come off as intimidating as she would like it to.
Yeah. Your face is a little easy to read sometimes. All right, the three of you head out. As you're walking down the block, he doesn't notice you, but you notice City Guard walking over, and he's taking off his copper cloak and folding it up and putting it in his bag and trying to fix his hair. And he's walking toward the Banshee. But the rest of you, you're heading toward the Verdant Village, where the Crimson Cloaks are hiding.
Gardens.
Yeah. All right, yeah. You make it there unscathed and unoppressed. You find old Cedar. When you come up to him, he's just picking up little pieces of discarded bark and trying to stick them back to this tree. And he hears you coming and he goes, "Oh, hello, Friend?
Hello again, Suda.
What can I help you with tonight?
We're looking to book a ship. A friendly ship.
A ship. That can be arranged via the contract you signed. Please, follow me. And he leads you back to that familiar at this point rose hedge and manipulates the flowers in such a way that all the branches on their own separate to show you the door down into the verdant village. And you follow him down. And he says, a ship specifically to where?
Suntepeli.
Suntepeli. Well, give me a few moments while I go and speak to some colleagues, and I'll be back with any possible options we have for you. And he, is about to leave the room, and he turns around again, and he says, a moment. When do you need to leave?
Preferably in the morning.
A fast turnaround, then. You've come to the right people. He winks this big barky eye.
Nice.
Continues down this hallway.
As,
You're in that mess hall that you were in the first time you met with them down here. Go ahead, Marwa.
As we're waiting, Maraway is doing his absolute best to seem as serious as the other two men that he's with. He's like, it's quite like he has his stuff bare in between his arms, but he's like crossing them, like trying to look as tough as they do. But he looks like a child.
Oh yeah.
Maraway.
It doesn't look over.
I've been meaning to ask, what is that little thing you have in your arms there?
Oh, it's their lavender, and he holds it up. It's like a little stuffed bear, and he's got like a knight's helmet on with a purple plume on it. And he's got like a little toy sword that's like proportionate to the toy, the stuffed bear. You see, he protects me from the nightmares.
Oh, okay. And where did you find this little thing?
Oh, Sir Lavender was a gift, you see. Back where I'm from, there was this amazing knight, and well, he was very generous to a lot of us, and he gave me the bear to protect me.
Oh, did he like save your people or something like that?
In a way, where I'm from, he was like kind of like the city guard, what you would call a city guard captain, and so he would take care of everyone that was in Sanctuary. His name was Sir Muldruzen.
One more time, sir. Who?
Sir Muldruzen. I believe you would call him what would you say? A hobgoblin is what I believe you would call him.
Ah.
Almera is distracted talking to Killian. I'm just kind of like through my crossed arms, cast detect magic on his bear. Or just cast detect magic, period.
That's on you, Kara.
Yeah. I think... Oh, I see.
Oh, you're muted.
Your push to talk is getting you.
Thank you.
There you go.
There we go.
There's a distinct magical glow to this bear.
I can't tell what kind it is or anything like that. Or just that it is magic.
I believe it's illusion magic. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bobby.
It is not illusion.
Hit me with what it is.
It would be closer to a mixture of conjuration and abjuration.
Sure, that.
And
Interesting.
Maraway, have you ever gone a night without this Sir Lavender?
Oh, no.
So you don't know if it protects you from the nightmares because you've always had it. So you've never had a nightmare since you've had this?
Well, it's very different. You see, nightmares to you and nightmares to what we have in the Feywild are very different. You know, most people consider where I'm from almost like a dream realm in itself. For us, nightmares aren't just something we see. It's something that's physically there.
Oh, like if I were to dream of some giant hairy spider creature, it would be an actual physical thing in the Feywild?
In a sense, usually you have to have some bit of Fey ancestry inside of you, but in a sense it could be very real in some dimension of my home.
Oh.
Sounds terrifying.
Well, yes, but it's also wonderful at the same time. You see, just because things can be dark doesn't mean they have to be. You can also have dreams that are beautiful and wonderful. And those are the ones I prefer.
Almost feel like that was a veiled comment about DD a little bit there.
Well, I guess you could. I mean, where I'm from, we see all kinds of people that would be seeking help, and not all of them looked beautiful. Some of them were sad and lonely, and they were broken. And it's not up to us to judge if someone is evil just by the way they look. Sometimes people just need help.
I just kind of look over Marrow's head at Killian and just...
Killian will kind of just think about what Marway just said a little bit. And kind of think to himself a little bit, maybe he was a little bit harsh to judge or quick to judge. Who knows why this person's the way they are. And he said maybe this person is worthy of redemption, worthy of aiding them to get rid of whatever's afflicting them. They were a person before, and they had a name. Maybe it is worthwhile to see where this takes us.
I mean, at the end of the day, all strangers could just be friends you haven't met yet. I mean, look at all of you, for instance. Before I met you, I mean, you were both very intimidating to look at. I mean, you're both strong and serious, and I could very easily have looked at you and thought, oh, these people are mean. But I saw inside you. I saw that there is goodness in everyone.
You're a funny little fellow, Marway.
Well said.
We typically have a little bit more suspicions about other people. At least I know I do. How about you, Eidos?
My experience, it's better to err on the side of caution when it comes to people's secret aspects. Seems for the most part, most people are hiding something bad, more rocks than your flowers that you're looking for. But I suppose that you can't lump everybody into the same category, and you're right, we should give her a chance. Because we don't know.
I mean, I think it would be better to help one evil person than to turn away one good person because we think they're evil.
I think Eidos is visibly frustrated, but it's definitely because he knows he's been backed into a corner, and he'll just kind of nod and say, yes, I suppose you're right.
This bugbear comes lumbering out the hallway that you saw Cedar walk down. And she walks up and puts a big ol' hand out and says, Qui compere tomes. I hear you're here to collect from a bargain.
Yes, we were looking for a ship with a discreet crew.
Well, I've done some digging, and it appears, actually, you helped yourselves in this precise scenario. The troubles that you helped solve at the West Docks neighborhood left quite a few ships with not enough crews, since all the people there who were unable to find employment have since found employment. So, I'm going to send you to one captain I know of who is in need of crew for a ship. It would normally cost you a pretty copper to travel that far south on a ship, but lucky for you, this is a trader who needs some cheap crew members to help him on his way. So you're gonna head to the West Docks, where you found yourselves when you were investigating our good friend, the deceased Lord Heron. And you're going to ask for or find the ship called the Griffin's Breath. It's a trade galley, and its captain is a water genasi called Surge. I happen to know he needs a crew. You don't have to tell him we're the ones who sent you, but if you show up able-bodied with a crew for him to travel south with, then he should be able to stop by Suntepeli on his way through to Samran.
And just so we don't seem too ignorant, how long is the voyage from Tuzankin to Suntepeli?
Oh, it's just gonna run you no more than 8 days.
Feel as though we should be completely candid with you. It's not just us coming, although we are more than willing to work on this ship, I suppose. We also have some cargo, live cargo, and we need discretion.
He gestures to a table and says, "Come sit for a moment, please." And he sits his big old bugbear. She sits her big old bugbear body down. She says,
Purposeful.
"I'm aware that you're aware of some of the things we trade in here. However, we're not keen on the trafficking of people."
This isn't the bad kind of trafficking, if there is a good kind. We're helping someone who needs to remain secret. She is a willing party. We're not slavers or traffickers or anything like that. We just transport mission.
Good. Well, I have no reason to doubt that is the truth, as you have proven yourselves to be handy for us before. So if this is the case, then I suggest you present this person as yet another able-bodied member of your crew.
And see, that's the thing. She's not what I would call able-bodied or really able-minded. She will be worthless and disruptive to the ship's goings-on. It's hard to explain. She is an interesting character, and could be trouble to herself. We're gonna have to basically keep her safe on this ship, but we will take full responsibility for her and make sure that no harm comes her way or in the way of the crew members.
And if the Captain Surge needs a little bit of, let's just say, reassurance, we have another party member who has a fair amount of coin that can wink. You know.
It also start winking too. Yeah.
Coin has swapped
Mara waves
one.
like,
Well, you can stop winking. I understand.
Yeah, we'll pay them. Yeah, that's what that meant. The winking.
Coin has greased more than one wheel, so that may be helpful. However, Surge, like you, owes us a favor. Again, you don't have to confirm that you are associated with the Crimson Cloaks, but you're welcome to if that's something you have to do, and that should make him more amenable to a more unruly passenger.
Perfect. Thank you, and thank you for helping us.
It's a deal. No thanks needed.
Just to be clear, this isn't the favor, right?
This is very much the favor.
This is the favor. Okay. Well, to see the way you worded it made it seem like it was just we were helping somebody else.
Though we appreciate any gesture of goodwill and kindness toward the people of this city, we can't afford to work for free, and we don't make our people work for free. You see.
How much money would you? Oh, Marley,
what would it cost if we didn't want to work?
It would work for a discount.
You'd have to shop them out. You'd have to find a ship that could take you. The last time I sent someone south via coin, it typically costs, give or take, a silver per mile. You being roughly 900 miles away from Suntepeli, that could cost a bit of coin.
I also look at Killian. Yes, that would be quite a bit of coin, wouldn't it? Right?
Killian looks in his coin purse. He's just like,
Ados gets it and says, "Okay," and I'll look to the others. Are we ready to sell this favor for this?
Well, if it means helping a friend, why not?
Killian?
I have to admit, I'm a little bit curious about this artifact of the unwelcome ones. And I know Zata is as well. And Serafina has some kind of obsession with this, with Double D. So I think she'd be okay with it.
And hopefully Bula forgives us, I suppose. Alright. We'll exchange our favor for this.
If you're nervous about it, keep in mind friends of the guild are friends of the guild, and though we don't provide labor for free, there are always more opportunities to earn additional favors.
That does lift my heart a bit.
Yeah, it's not as though we're never going to be able to come back here. We're friends.
Right.
Indeed you are.
Consider it a transaction. But again, thank you for helping us. Sorry for trying to milk you.
I understand. We all must do what we all must do. I've seen worse in this profession.
Killian's going to lean into Marwe's ear and explain what that phrase means. in humanoid, non-Feywild speak.
She stands up and she says, if Surge gives you any trouble, just name drop Valka and he'll fall in line.
Heard. Thank you. And I'll stand up as well.
She says, you know the way out. Cedar will see to it that you make it out of the garden safely. Thank you for working with the Crimson Cloaks.
You ready? Or did you two want to do anything?
Killian wants to see if Genevieve's still here. He'll just kind of look, maybe ask around, see if he saw that one. Was it like a half elf or something like that? That was the healer.
Yeah, neither Genevieve nor gosh, if I could remember all my NPCs' names. Nor
Isn't
him.
that the struggle?
Like scroll. Neither of them are in the room.
Yeah, Killian.
And no one, if someone says no, Genevieve didn't stop by today. If you're asking around.
Yeah. Killian will just kind of do a little huff under his breath and join back with Ados and Marwe.
Right.
So shall we go back to the Banshee and tell everyone the news? Also, how are we going to let Zada know about this? I just thought of that right now.
What I thought, and hopefully this makes sense as it comes out of my mouth. It often doesn't. Was we have the map of the sewer system. I guess hopefully we could talk Surge into taking a quick right at where the exit for the sewer, where they're supposed to meet us, is. And then we'll walk over there. Hopefully it's not too far of a walk, and let them know the news. They come with us. We all ride down.
I guess it
Sounds like a
depends.
solid plan to me.
I guess it just depends where the sewers exit out of. Can Killian open up that map that he has of the sewers and just kind of see? I think we discussed where they would be waiting, and just kind of see where it lines up.
Yeah. So, you'll remember as soon as you open it up, you remember that the west docks are actually to the south of the city. They're just the westmost docks. They're not actually to the west of the city. You said you would meet up at the southernmost exit point of the sewer, like the southernmost drainage point of the sewers. Therefore, the drainage point comes out, the drainage point that you find on the sewer map comes out like just beyond the west docks, the actual docks themselves, into the same bay that the docks are on. So it's right there. It's just around a little, like what appears to be like some kind of like jutting out of rocks. There's the large sewage exit that flows into the ocean there.
What great luck.
Well, it looks like
Awesome.
everything would work pretty good, but still worry about how we're going to transport Double D.
Yes, I was under the impression that we were going to pick her up in some sort of more natural setting instead of the middle of the city, or I suppose the outskirts of the city, but still busy enough.
It is
Hopefully,
outside the
Seraphina.
walls of the city, luckily.
It's what?
The drainage point is outside the walls of the city in the bay.
Okay,
It's just not far from the city.
gotcha.
I think we'll just have to see what Seraphina has outfit-wise. She was pretty confident that she'd be able to dress up.
I've seen.
And if anything, we know that she's making friends with the cool guard. Maybe he could help us with a little bit of movement.
No. I don't think we should tell the city guard this. I've seen Seraphina's wardrobe. If she doesn't have something in there that would cover this, I would be astounded.
The
It's
less
magical in
people, the less people involved, especially city officials,
Yes.
the better.
I don't care how
Well,
cool this
okay,
guard
but-
is.
You didn't see? Did you see the way he looked at her? He would do anything for her.
I
maybe
believe
maybe on the
Seraphina
second date.
is like swirling her skirts around. And she's saying, "Thank you. It's from Nolwed. It's made of pure silk." And he's going, "Incredible. It's your color." Flashback.
Are we walking back as we're talking?
I think we're walking and talking, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nope.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
I had a question for you, Killian. You see, you ask a lot about Sir Lavender, but I don't really know a whole lot about you either. And I was wondering, whenever we fought the devils, I think you called them, you seem to have like a very strong hatred of them. Like I sensed a lot of anger and hate from you during that. Why do you hate them so much?
Well, let me answer your question with another question, Marway. Do you have any familiarity with devils and demons in the Feywild?
No.
How best to describe this? The nightmares that you spoke of. Things that are physical form of fear and terror that, ravaged your sanctuary, you called it?
Yes.
Well, demons are agents of chaos in this plane. They see nothing but and want nothing but chaos and confusion and terror and fear, and they will do anything that they will, whether it be kill innocent villages, slaughter countless children. They are chaos incarnate. However, devils, on the other hand, are a bit more elusive. See, they prey on our deepest desires, and they offer it to you in a pretty little package. But typically, that package comes with a lot of fine print, and you saw it with Lord Heron. It seems as though whatever devil that he made a deal with really preyed on his greed, and seeing how many people were connected to this network of greed, a devil's influence spans quite quickly. Now, in my years, I've rarely come across devils in the open, but seeing them for the first time, it brought back some rather unpleasant memories of my past, and I don't know what this is all about, and he kind of points to his eye, but when I saw that creature, something inside me awoke, and it is something I feel deep in my core that I need to be the one to vanquish these creatures. It's something that's been instilled in me since I was a young boy. It's something that I was trained to do, something I've been seemingly destined to do if my sister is to be believed. Devils are just the epitome of evil in this world. And evil needs to be punished, and evil needs to be purged from this world so that the people can live in peace.
That which destroys the garden must be purged.
Fine way to put it.
While we don't have devils, it's true, and I don't really still know much about them, we have something very similar where I come from that preys on your desires and your weaknesses, but we call them hags. And I know all too well the toll that they can take on people.
And when Marway says hags, Killian will kind of perk up at that, and he'll say, "What can you tell me of hags, Marway?
Well, what do you want to know about them?
Do they often cross over into the mortal plane here?"
Only when they're hungry, from what I've seen.
And are there any warning signs that a hag is nearby?
Not usually, actually, it's quite the opposite. Normally they like to describe or disguise themselves as something welcoming and warm. They lure you in, and once you're comfortable and they know what hurts you the most, they make deals with you that are always one-sided. And they poison your dreams and take everything you hold dear.
Sounds like hags and devils share some similar traits.
So it would seem. But if they truly are similar to hags, just know that I will be there to help you in destroying them and ridding the world of evil. For that which destroys peace must be gone.
And Marway, what if I was to tell you that there's been a hag sighting on Lena Mirna?
As you say that, you can tell that Marway almost shrinks, and like gathers up his shawl around him. Well, I would say that is not something that brings comfort, but I will help you if I can. If there's one, though, I would warn you that there are odds that there are more. They rarely travel without their covens.
Do you know how many are in a coven, usually?
Usually it's 3,
3.
but there's always a leader. There's always one that wrangles the others, that commands them and uses them.
Can Killing roll just a little insight onto Marway, just to kind of feel out his just general vibe as he's talking about all this? I know I saw his like body language shrink in a little bit, but I just want to see if I can like read in a little more. No, I can't.
Asked and answered.
I just want to see. No, I can't.
Yeah, where's my insight? Yeah, that's only a 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that he is looking so. I mean, compared to his usual demeanor, he looks quite sullen. You're seeing
Well-
what you see, but you don't quite know how to read past it.
Mm-hmm. I'll kind of just put a hand on Marway's kind of like back and say, well, from what I know, the hags are quite far away from here, and traveling by ship, I'm sure we are not going to be encountering them. So keep Sir Lavender close. I'm sure he'll ward off any sort of bad dreams that these hags might cause.
He usually does.
And I'd also put
I-
a hand on Maraway's shoulder as well and say, if you're avoiding hags, make sure you choose your bars wisely.
I don't really understand what you mean by that, but okay.
I was just trying to lighten the mood. It's all demons and hags. Where I'm headed to. The drinks and friends.
I would very much appreciate if you wouldn't tell the others you saw me like this. I would not want them to worry.
I do not want to bring you like this to Bula. I fear she will maim us in some way.
Well,
Yes.
well, don't worry. It's easy enough. We can go back and we're going to have a great night, and then tomorrow we embark on a new adventure.
Sounds perfect.
At this point, you're walking in to the warm light of the buoyant banshee. And you walk up to where Seraphina's like got her back to the bar, and Coolguard's like kind of like leaning an arm kind of around her, sort of like in her space a little, and he's going, "So do you know Mage Hand? Is that a spell you know? That can come in handy, huh?"
Oh yeah, I can show you later.
I'd like that.
We're back.
Yeah. Is everybody having a good time? Where's Bula?
Bula's just like, so they're sitting here at the bar in each other's space. She's like down at the other end, and she kind of like sees movement and turns around and pulls like a napkin out of her ear. Like she's just trying to block him out hardcore.
I don't blame you. This seems worse than the sewers.
What do you mean? She's gonna show him magic tricks. It's super cool.
Yeah, you should ask for a demonstration. I'm sure they would love to show everyone.
He says, "Yeah, I'm loving to see more of her magic hands."
She's quite impressive too. Her magic is incredible.
Are you impressive? You're impressive and dangerous? I'm interested.
Bula takes the napkin that's been in her ear and just has like a nice coating of earwax on it, and she just like flicks it at Coolguard's face.
Ew.
You have weird friends.
Did he just dodge that?
He did not dodge it.
He didn't have to. Oh, he don't. Never mind.
He was too distracted.
Staring deep into some beautiful blue eyes.
Serafina, he's got a little wax on him. You should show him how amazing your prestidigitation is.
Oh, good idea. And I'll cast Prestidigitation on him to get rid of the piece of earwax on his face.
He says, yeah, you like it clean, huh?
So
Guys-
clean.
This guy's all one-liners. It's so gross.
Well, I will leave you two to it, and I'm going to go get some food, but you two have fun.
Thank you.
Eidos doesn't move. He'll look at Coolguard. He's kind of back in the same position. Seraphina, Coolguard. Say, so, do you have any hobbies?
He doesn't stop staring at Seraphina. He says, I like to paint, actually.
Oh, really? What do you like to paint?
Landscapes.
Mm-hmm.
I like to paint trees. I like to think I'm a well-rounded man. I have an artistic eye.
That hobby worked out in your favor, didn't it? It's almost like you're ready to talk about it.
Says, do you like paintings, Lady Seraphina?
Ugh, I'll go
You
sit
like
next to Bula.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
I was waiting for that line.
Yeah.
From the bourbon.
And somebody's had too much French bourbon tonight.
Paint me like one of your Lena Mirnia girls.
Oh god. Yeah, at this point Hattie's nowhere to be seen, but I assume Bula has taken whatever food you could find in the cold storage and heated it up as well as Bula can, and it's pretty good. It's a lot of food, so anybody who needs to eat is welcome to go ahead and eat. Otherwise, the bar, it's getting a little late at this point. The bar is winding down for sure. Outside of these two pretty drunkenly flirting at the bar, there's not a whole lot going on in the room.
Bula, do you look how cute? Do you see how much joy he brings her? I just look, she's so happy.
He's like twirling her hair and he's like, so are you a natural blonde?
Of course.
Very obvious that you want. The roots are like down to here.
Speaking of, do you know a good salon? I just need to freshen up my layers.
Oh yeah, my sister goes to Barbara down on 4th Street. Just go over there, she'll take care of you.
Oh my gosh, do you think Barbara can squeeze me in sometime before tomorrow morning?
So like tonight?
Maybe. Or just very early tomorrow.
Why don't you go ask, drop my name, drop my sister's name, Berta.
Berta.
She might help you out.
Vertigard.
Vertigard.
The last name's not God.
Yes, it is.
I feel like this is one of those.
It's canon.
This
now.
is one of those
What am
rare
I in here?
situations where we gaslight and physically like abuse our DM into having the last name be Guard.
Vertigard.
And he says, yeah, just name drop me. She'll let you in.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Of course.
I'll be headed out of town soon
Don't
though.
ask. Don't ask.
I can't ask him.
No! Don't do it! His name will forever be Coolguard.
If their last name's Guard, his real name is actually Cole.
Coolguard.
With a nat 1, he does not realize you don't know his name.
Perfect. It continues.
But I do know his name.
His name is Coolguard.
Yeah.
Wing.
Guard comical.
Incredible. What was the question? There was a question in here somewhere.
Oh, I was just saying, well, I'll be headed out of town very soon, tomorrow morning, after this hair appointment.
That explains why you have to get your hair done so soon. Where are you going? You going on a little vacation? Going on a little trip? You deserve it. You've been on your feet all day.
Oh, I know,
Eidos.
we're going...
Eidos is staring daggers over his Coolguard's shoulder from the other end of the bar.
Sarah, you clock it.
Well, we're headed to this wonderful beach town. I'm so excited to just work on my tan, hang out, dip my toes in the water. So it'll be a great time.
Well, will you write me a little letter? Tell me about the beach. Tell me about the weather down there.
Yes, I'll send you a postcard.
Oh, I'd love that. Here, let me give you my address. That's right. Number.
Perfect.
Hmm.
We'll be in touch.
He says, I got an early shift. I gotta hit the barracks. No.
This position.
You staying here tonight? You have a room, yeah?
I am staying here tonight, but you know what? I have to head out to get my hair done. So I guess I'll see you around town when I get back. All
You
right,
send me that
Leo.
postcard and you let me know when you're back in town, huh? And we'll go yeah. Well, you can show me your mage hand and all the things you can do with it.
Oh, it'll be wonderful.
All right. He leaves and he leaves some a couple gold coins on the bar to pay for his drinks and Sarah's drinks. And as he's walking
Aw.
past, he walks past your guys' corner booth and he looks at Ados and he goes, "Hey, champ, see you later."
Oh
Waves it off.
no! This guy is dead to me. He's done. Sleep tight, guard.
Isn't he so nice?
He's
Bye.
exceptionally nice. Yes.
Bye.
He would take a whole potato and just like throws it at the back of his head and then turns around like,
Right by Fruity.
Roll to hit.
yeah,
Champ. Hey.
15.
Oh, you champ.
You know, to the back of the head. By the time he turns around, he cannot tell who threw it.
Oh, be careful. These fixtures hang low. You're quite tall. I noticed. So,
And the chandelier.
bit clumsy. Yes. Have a good night.
The dragon is hanging on the chandelier above his head.
There's just a little bit of potato stuck in the back of his hair.
For sure. Turns around, gives Seraphina one more little wave, and dips out.
Dips out.
Oh my god, Seraphina! Look at the smile you have!
Unless you have-
Isn't it so cute to see her so happy?
Such a dreamy evening.
He's speechless, he's so happy for you!
I'm
We
so.
have so much in common. I can't
Oh.
wait to see him again.
What do you have in common with Coolguard?
Oh, you know, we get our hair done.
I noticed he does. Is that the end of the list? You could. I think you could see that Ados is like a little upset. He's kind of disappointed.
Ados is at best pissy. It's visible.
I'm being very fussy right now.
Why would you be upset? He brings her joy and happiness. Don't you want that for your best friend?
Yes, I suppose, but not at any port in the storm, so to speak. You know, maybe next time pick up a somebody more useful to our cause instead of somebody directly opposed to it.
Well, if you just gave him a chance, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to help us.
Help us find a new home. I'm sure behind bars. Yes.
And with that, we're gonna fade to black and take our 10-minute break.
Damn, you know.
It fades to black on me saying, "I just think it's funny how."
Oh, incredible. Okay. Wow, goodness gracious. Yeah, we're gonna be back in about 10 minutes, so that's gonna be about 35 on the hour, 9:35 Eastern Time, 8:35 Central Time. Just to reiterate, as always, we are affiliates on Twitch, so we're gonna be running our 3-minute ad break during this time. So enjoy the hell out of those ads. Go do the capitalism thing, buy something, support us, pay money to watch us have fun. Subscribe, follow, all the things. We'll see you in 10 minutes. See you soon. Welcome back, my friends. I would try and recap everything that happened in the first half of this, but I'm going to sum it all up in like 2 sentences. The party decided to take a boat south to Suntepeli, and Serafina, was a victim of the Riz, as was Idos.
Maybe a casualty, yeah.
You were victims in different ways.
Yeah.
Oh, we learned some things about Marway. We learned some things about Killian. They touched base with the Crimson Cloak Thieves Guild. So they now should have passage to the south. And we are going to, unless there's anything else anybody wants to get done in the late nighttime hours. No? Yes? Maybe? In that case, we're going to jump ahead to just before sunrise, when Serafina, who has woken up from romanticized dreams, wakes not so bright and early because y'all were up late and she had a few too many shots with Coolguard. But she knows that this is her one chance to get her hair done before her beach vacation. And she will not be on that beach without blonde hair. So, being the earliest riser, what do you do, Serafina?
I'm gonna get up. So through the night, my unseen servant has been going through my closet and putting together a 7-foot costume for DD. Hopefully this will match her color season. So we'll see how that goes when we give it to her.
Thoughtful.
You would make me try and figure out her colors.
I'm pretty sure.
But as a DM, that's what I want.
Her color season's like the death of winter.
Oh, so she's like a bright winter. So maybe it's like
I
a
don't know.
jewel tone.
I was getting an
Emphasis
autumn
on
vibe,
death.
you know, like oranges and reds.
Oh, okay.
Just
If she's like
It would really match the color of her eye jelly. I think so.
Oh, what is the color
Her
of
eye,
her eye jelly?
her eye is it's like a lime green. Like literally the
Oh.
color
Oh,
of
that changes
a
things.
flesh of lime.
That's beautiful.
Which reads to me as typically like a cool autumn. Or like a soft
Okay.
autumn. Yeah.
Yes.
And her skin is shades of gray, red, and pink. So whatever that color season.
And
Maybe I'll-
scabs.
And what?
Scabs.
And scabs.
Yeah. Ooh.
Exposed flesh, you know.
Mhm.
The tendons and muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thinking it's like a burnt orange.
Mm.
That would probably like make her eye really pop. So I think that's
Yeah.
the way you would want to go.
Okay,
Mm.
great. It has like long sleeves and a long skirt just to keep her covered.
All right.
Not that there's anything to be ashamed of, but it is a disguise.
Does it happen to have a hood? You know, for
Her
the
giant
most
eye.
noticeable part about her body.
Her head that is an eye.
Just
It's
that
just-
giant ass
It's just a
eye.
cute tiny sun hat.
All this is happening, and Zada like has barely slept all night. Like at
Oh
the
no,
point
Zara
where
has not
Harrison is
slept.
waking up,
Zara,
Zada is once again jumping awake, like having kind of drifted off and jumping awake and looking at her.
I
and
will
her
take a
giant
point
eyelid
of
is-
I will
her
take a point
giant
of
eyelid is
exhaustion. I will
closed.
not be asleep.
Her
call.
giant eyelid is closed, but you can see the eyeball like rolling around inside as she's dreaming. You see like the movement under her giant eyelid.
Aw.
Ugh.
She's in a deep
Yo.
sleeper.
Get that REM.
He keeps on like pulling out his sword and be like.
She's a very twitchy sleeper.
Yep, he's like.
Yeah, Serafina, you wake up, you check on the unseen servant's progress on this disguise. You're thinking, yeah, this is really gonna like make her look regal. She's gonna look great. What do you do next?
Okay, so I'm going to look at the address that Coolguard gave me, try to figure out where this Barbarock is. I'm sorry.
Barbarock?
Barbarock. I'm going to try to find Barbarock's salon to try to hit the salon before we go, and hopefully I'm going to catch them right as they come in, and hopefully they can squeeze an appointment for me.
Yeah, and as soon as you like get out of bed to get ready, your little white dragon comes crawling up from under the covers where it slept, and like
Good morning.
and snuggles into the pillow that you just abandoned, like in the warm spot where your head just was, and curls up in the tiny little dragon ball, and lets out this like little like sigh that like is also a little bit of bright white fire to the point where the pillowcase catches on fire.
And she'll like tuck her in.
She's sleepy. Goes to sleep. She was up late swinging in chandeliers. Okay, yeah, you are able to, you head out for the day, or for the morning. I like to think that you, like, wrapped a scarf around your head.
Yeah, just trying to keep it covered.
And you do manage to. It's not far. It's a couple blocks away from where you're staying. And you get there just as this, like, she's a little bit, like, of a thicker woman, middle-aged human woman, and she's got, like, this big, like, bouffant hairstyle that's dyed, like, very warm blonde, and, like, a beautiful makeup with, like, thick eyebrows and thick eyeliner and bright orange lips. And she's, like, sleepily unlocking the door to the salon. That the sign out front says, Barbarock's Beauty Emporium. And she sees you coming and she goes, "Good morning, dear."
Good morning. Thank you so much. I was just wondering if you could possibly just squeeze me in for a quick appointment. I am in such a rush. And she'll like kind of move her scarf a little bit back to show her.
"Oh, honey, get inside. Get inside before the neighbors see you. I can't have
Thank
anyone
you.
being up front with like that. Please." You proceed to have a pretty decent salon experience. She keeps wanting to convince you to get what is essentially a magical perm. She's like, "I just could see you with so much more volume here. Just your bangs, we could cut some bangs and have them point straight up to the sky. You'd look incredible, honey."
Oh, that sounds fantastic. I'm not sure that's really the look I'm going for. I'm going on this really lovely beach vacation, and I need kind of just more flowing hair.
Yeah, okay, you're not gonna have time to style it. I see. Okay, I
Yeah,
see the vision.
yeah.
Next time we'll do the perm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She gets to work.
But as she's going, I'll kind of ask her, do you happen to know if there's anywhere where I can find a wig? Like a very long wig. Preferably for a soft autumn. Maybe maybe a red wig would be very lovely. Maybe a brown.
Oh, honey, you've come to the right salon. You're gonna be one of my regulars. And
Oh, perfect.
she like goes over to the side and like pulls open these curtains into like her like little boutique, like where she sells like her little like shampoo potions and things and little facial creams. And there is a wall of big curly. They almost look like judges' wigs, like minister wigs, but in all these different colors, like very big voluptuous wigs. And she's like, "I have 4 shades of red. You want more of like a dirty crimson, or do you want a soft orange, like the colors of the desert sand in summer?"
I feel like a dirty crimson will go with the outfit that I have picked out, so I think we're gonna go with that.
Fantastic. And she puts it in a bag for you. She says, "I'll send this home with you tonight. It's just gonna be another 2 silver.
Perfect. Thank you.
My new favorite customer."
Thanks
She
for
gets
squeezing
on.
me in.
She says, "Thank you for filling up a time slot that is not usually taken." Yeah, you get a fairly well done bleach job. The rest of you, once Seraphina is halfway through her salon appointment, start to rise, getting ready for your day before sunrise.
Well, we're getting ready for the morning. Killian will probably have been up for a little bit. He's kind of got some things spread out on like a little table that he has in his room. He's got that mosaic of Oasis kind of tilted up a little bit, so it's kind of like a picture frame almost looking at him. He's got the vial of the snail flail slime. He's got the little flask of the vial of the demon blood, and he has the basilisk's eye. And he's currently just kind of writing in a small journal that he has about his encounters with these creatures. Kind of his experience when he saw and was battling the devil creature. And even more so, he's kind of feverishly trying to remember and write down everything that Marway said about hags. That they are like how they kind of pick and choose their targets, how many of them there are, and Killian's kind of remembering back to when he got his mission from the Protectorate. Like they didn't mention that there would be more than one. They did mention that there's a hag present there, but there weren't any more details about it. So he's kind of just keeping stock of all that kind of stuff. And while he's writing that down with his one hand, he's just kind of slowly just kind of tracing over his headband that he has. And after a little bit of time, he just wants to check in to see if anyone else is downstairs, because he does want to make a stop before we all set out, and he could probably do that pretty early on in the morning. He wants to go to like if there's a place that has like a place of worship for Oasis specifically, he wants to go there. So before that happens, he just wants to check in just to kind of see how much time we have, when are we heading out, all that kind of stuff. So he'll kind of look for anyone that happens to be awake as he kind of heads downstairs, and maybe just gets a little bit of breakfast before he sees anyone. He probably missed Seraphina because she probably left before him.
Motorway would definitely be there, so we could have his time before the sun comes up. So Motorway would be down in the main area, and he's got like his journal open, and you can't really tell what the writing is because it's in a language that you're not quite familiar with. But you would definitely very easily notice that there's almost like a pyramid drawn on it, almost like two circles and then one up top and them connecting. And you see that inside the circles are blank, and on the table in front of him, he has a couple chess pieces that are sitting there. He has two of the white bishops, and you can see that next to his book, he has a broken black castle.
Killian will just kind of walk down and just see what Marway's doing, and it says, Marway, where'd you get those chess pieces?
Oh, well, they were a gift.
Oh, sorry, did I startle you?
Just a little bit. I was just thinking about things and kind of the things we talked about yesterday.
Oh, it was great minds think alike. I was thinking about the same thing.
Oh.
Would you mind I just have to run out somewhere really quick. Just kind of make sure everyone stays here. I'll only be gone for like a brief moment. I'll be here and I'll come right back. So just make sure that everyone doesn't leave and leave me here by myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Killian will just kind of head out the door.
Yeah, you remember, you think back to your conversation with Genevieve. You remember that she and Maribeth were primarily staying at the Sanctuary of Voices, which is a specific place here in Tuzankin, where not a ton of people worship, but the place where like all the refugees and the people call their kind of central area. So you make your way to that part of town in another neighborhood, and
Killian knows he's kind of strapped for time, so he's taking a nice morning jog there.
Yeah, you get there pretty quickly. It's like it's not quite sunrise, but the sky has started to turn, purple and then a little bit bluer before you ever really see the sun crest the horizon. Feels like morning, smells like morning. The earliest risers in the city are starting to wake up by the time you reach the sanctuary. And you give a nod to the kind of priest guard that's sitting out front, just not so much a guard, but a welcoming face for people who need sanctuary here. And you head inside to this really lovely temple. It's very like simply decorated, like it's not very expensively made, but it's very warm and welcoming. Like full carpet everywhere. It's not like the church that like we would know. It's very like comfortable. Lots of like, it's not so much one large worship room, it's lots of smaller rooms where you can go and like find more personal community ties. So you're kind of wandering through this space that doesn't quite fit in Tuzankin, but is more familiar to you than anything you've seen in Lenamirna thus far.
Yeah, and as Killian kind of walks through, he does feel a sense of ease. He'll take a little bit of time to like sit down if there's like a nearby queue or bench and just kind of take in the I would say simpleness of the building. Say like a little silent prayer to Oasis, and planning for the journeys, a little bit worried about what they might come across, but Killian wants to see if there's a chaplain like nearby that he can speak to.
Yeah, so you find a little bit more of a secluded room to sit and say your prayer. And then you move on to try and find one of the more active like clergy members up at this hour. And you do find a room with it's even more of a homey vibe than the rest of the room. It's more of an office than a prayer room. And there is a chaplain sitting on this, like, it's a pretty comfortable looking couch. And they're having sort of just a morning coffee and prayer.
And as soon as he walks in, he'll kind of look towards the chaplain, says, "Hello, chaplain," and he'll give like a kind of a courteous bow to them.
He says, "Hello, my friend and neighbor. How can I help you this morning?"
I was wondering if you would be able to help me procure something. I'm just looking for a little bit of holy water, if you have any on hand. I hear I'm going to be encountering some creatures where I may need it. And at the same time, he'll kind of pull over and kind of reveal his cape that has the protectorate sign on it.
Yeah, at first he looked a little bit questioning, and then he sees the protectorate sigil, and he immediately looks pretty elated. He's like, a child of Cordia itself. Wonderful to have you here. I'd be happy to help you in your mission. Besides holy water, is there anything else you need?
I was wondering if someone named Maribeth had come through recently.
Maribeth, as in Maribeth, right?
Yes.
The Maribeth.
The Maribeth, yes.
She is, I believe, still asleep upstairs.
Well, I know best that she needs her rest. I do not wish to disturb her, but just let her know that Killian was here, and I was able to speak to Genevieve, and that's it. That's all.
I will tell them that you were here. And that is it, and that is all. Please, if you're ever back in Tuzankin, come back by and you can speak to them in person. And if you ever have time, come speak to the followers, the community.
I would
Everybody
love to,
wants a little bit of home these days.
I would love to do that. I haven't been away from home for very long, but I miss it. And
You say Killian is your name?
yes.
Not Killian Sodriv.
And Kill will kind of zip up a little bit, but he'll. Yes, Sodriv is my given name.
I'm happy to host you this morning. And I hope that your travels are productive. And my deepest sympathies for whatever fate your family has met.
A little bit of rage kind of comes up in Killian, just ever so slightly. He kind of bites his tongue, but he says, "I thank you for your well wishes. It is appreciated. I am in a little bit of a rush. Would you be able to get that water for me, please?"
Of course, and he rushes out. Comes back just a minute or two later with a couple of vials, a couple small, 5 tablespoon vials full of holy water for you.
Perfect. Thank you. Can I make a donation to the church for these?
Well, of course, any donation is appreciated. However, from a Sodriv, none necessary. We're glad to have you here in Tuzankin. Any representation of Cordia here in this city is appreciated deeply.
Killian was, I insist, and he'll pull out 20 gold and give it to them.
His eyes go. He says, "This will support no less than 3 of our refugee families. Thank you for this generous donation."
Of course, it's what any of the soldiers would do.
Indeed, indeed.
I have to ask, are you not a little bit off-put by my presence here? Seems back home, my family never received the best reception when our name was mentioned.
I haven't been in Cordia for some 25 years.
And Killian will just kind of almost embarrassed at the fact that he's said it. Say, "Yep, pay no mind, Chaplain. I apologize for taking up your time and while you're during your prayer. I appreciate your gift of this holy water, and hopefully the families will be well kept for."
Please, no apology necessary. May the spirit of the community lift you up, son.
And Killian will repeat that back and also kind of end with a bow and collect the holy water and head out.
All right, and back at the Buoyant Banshee, who would be the next to rise? Really, it's between Bula and Eidos.
Yeah, it's going to be a late start for Eidos, I think. I think he didn't go straight to bed. He did go to his room with a bottle he pilfered from the bar. Kind of set it next to the collection of bottles that has been growing in his room. And during a few nightcaps, he is looking at the wand that he found at the House of Paramnesia, and just studying it and seeing, if he can gain any knowledge of it.
Yeah, so you're essentially spending a bit of time trying to attune to this wand.
Yes.
In this first night of studying it and putting some energy into it, you read it as doesn't appear to be cursed. It appears to be a pretty run-of-the-mill purchasable wand. And it has quite a bit of like divination magic that you can detect that it's been used for. It's not quite usable by you yet until you've attuned further, but that's the vibe you get from it at this point.
And once he realizes he's not going to make any more progress, he'll go to sleep and eventually wake up, either near the time that Bula comes out of her room or later from burning the midnight oil, a little groggy-eyed.
Bula, what's your morning look like?
So Bula kind of startles awake with a snort, and she reaches under the bed really fast, and she doesn't feel anything. So then she hangs her head off the bed and looks under the bed, and she can kind of see where Marway's been, but he's not there. Of course, he's usually awake before she is, so it doesn't look different from a normal morning of where his stuff is laid. And so she, takes a minute. He's probably downstairs. He's probably eating breakfast. Hattie's here. Barnacle's here. He's in good hands. Ooh, Hattie's here and Barnacle's here. That means good breakfast. So then she's like, okay, I think I'm ready to get up then. So she's just kind of yawning, scratching, tucking things in, and just making sure that all of Marway's bits are up and in her pouches and bags where they should be, and all of her stuff is in the pouches and bags where they should be, and she's gonna go find something to eat.
Yeah, you kind of find yourself packing up a little bit more than what you usually carry, knowing that you might be taking off today for a bit. So you pack up your more bags than you usually carry on you, and you bring them downstairs and find Marway sitting there, holding court in the breakfast room as per usual.
Of course, looking lovely and sparkly as the sun comes in and shines on him, and she just smiles at seeing him and seeing, that he looks content and he's well and he's got food, and that's
you're disappointed to see that he's eating cold cheeses and cold cured salted meats instead of a hot breakfast. And you
no, there's no meat.
Yeah.
There's no meat.
Yeah, not on my
meat.
Yeah, no. But you immediately put together that Hattie's not awake yet and Barnacle's running the kitchen this morning.
She starts to pull out like a side of bacon from her pocket.
Yep.
And she just like kind of pushes Barnacle out of the way and starts turning on the stove and stuff.
And he's happy for the help. He says, "Thank God, Bula. Thank gods."
She's like, this is mine. I don't know what you want.
I want to wake up my wife, and he goes upstairs.
She just starts like cooking.
And yeah, like shortly after, you're halfway through reheating this bacon, and Seraphina walks back through the door, a little silk scarf tied around her neck, freshly beautiful, cool blonde hair.
I want to look like a shampoo commercial where
Yes,
wind's blowing in my hair.
Both of the doors open thanks to her Pantene servant, and a breeze blows her hair back. It literally looks like a Pantene commercial. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Tuzankin. Maybe it's Barbara.
Bula just like sees her come in with her like beautiful hair, and she like kind of looks at her rat's nest of curls and like takes a little bit of the bacon grease and just like it's like tries to tame the curls a little bit.
A little bit. It hydrates the curls a little bit. Add some needed protein and curly hairstyle. And that smells like bacon.
Even better.
Perfect.
Better. And shortly thereafter, after you You all sit down, you're drinking your morning teas and coffees, and eventually Killian comes back through the front door. A little bit more items in his satchel than typical. Eidos eventually comes down the stairs after hearing Bula get up and start some food. And you've all convened at your typical corner booth. Everybody except Zada, who has stayed up all night, keeping a sharp eye on Darkdown, who woke up in the morning from a dead, twitching, dreaming sleep. Woke up and threw herself sideways into the sewage water. And then climbed up and said, "Darkdown, go south to the city of Sun. Sun."
Yep, that's what we're doing today, Darkdown. Don't get too excited. I'll let you know when we're going.
That's
Now
rough.
go now, Darkdown, now, Darkdown, ready for sunshine.
Don't you
Dark
want
down,
to make
done,
sure
and
everything's?
down.
Don't you want to make sure you're all clean? Don't you want to make sure your clothes are clean first? Gotta
Friend of gods, press to digitate Darkdown.
cast
Do
light
now.
again. Cast light again.
On Darkdown herself.
Just cast light. Yeah, just cast light on her clothes.
Darkdown is dripping wet with sewage water and glowing.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Darkdown, beautiful mage again. Thank you, friend of gods. Roll a deception check.
Yep, that sounds about right. 4.
Jeez.
I got a -1, bud.
Darkdown says, friend of gods. Friend of gods and only gods. Friend of gods and wishes was friends of other lions.
You gotta stop talking. You
Stop
got.
talking now, and scuffles over and starts, takes your satchel off of you and starts shoving her things into your satchel to finish packing. Darkdown, ready for City of Sun.
Yeah, he's gonna go a very cold stare. His claws will be out, and he's just kind of stares at her and just doesn't say anything else.
Yeah, she proceeds packing. Those of you at the Buoyant Banshee, what are you gonna do before it's time to take off? Anything? Nothing? Ready to go?
There's just pound some coffee and take off, right? Anybody want to do anything?
Didn't Zelda say that he was gonna set a fire or something to let us know where they were, though?
I don't think
I
we need
was.
them.
No one told me that you were going to go to the to the port, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Killian will show that map of the sewer system and kind of discuss with Bula and Serafina, because they weren't there. Essentially, that the place where they will likely be exiting out of the sewers is going to be close to the west docks. So we should be pretty close, and maybe we'll just look for any signs of him over there, like if he lights a fire or something.
Perfect. I'm so excited.
I'm looking forward to it.
Eidos, you're not excited to go to Suntepeli? I've always wanted to take you. There's the sunshine and the boardwalk and the saltwater taffy.
Is there usually a one-eyed 7-foot monster with you?
Oh, she'll love it. Don't worry.
Oh, good. I was worried.
Bula walks by and kind of nudges at Eidos and goes, 7-foot creepy-eyed monster is better than the guard.
You know what? Damn. This Darkdown was a notably better conversationalist than the guard. Thank you, Bula. That does make me feel better, and I'm more excited now.
Yeah, you ready to go, champ?
Oh,
No.
no.
The smile washes off of Eidos' face. He'll look at her, and then he'll just say, "Yes, I'm ready to go," and we'll head out.
You're gonna love it.
He doesn't say anything. He's looking very haughty.
Ados is the first out the door. Serafina's after him, just sweeping her skirts. Little
Serafina.
dragon is prancing along behind you.
Serafina, is Champ what we're calling him now? Is that like a new name?
Yes.
No.
Wait up, Champ. We're right behind you.
I just glare at Serafina again. She's being facetious. Don't call me Champ.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you.
No, you didn't. She did. It's none of your fault at all. You have good taste. I'm not so sure anymore.
Ooh.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of the food that she eats, and it looks pretty yummy.
She does have good taste in that. I'll admit that. And drink. She knows her wines. But that's not the point. The point is, we have to go.
All right. Oh boy. Yeah, you all take off, head south toward, ironically, the west docks. You head back out. It's really the same way you went when you were traveling to, gosh, I can't remember any of my own NPCs' names. Sleazy Man. First Sleazy Man. Dixon Connell's.
Yeah.
Office, which was right across, looked out over the docks. And, you see his office has been, boarded up and vacated as you arrive at the docks. And yet, as you're heading that way, there are a lot more buildings that appear to be re-inhabited. A lot more people, like, kind of rebuilding their own homes again. Hi, Card Trick. Thanks for the raid. Loved you. And, yeah, compared to the last time you were all in the West Docks, this neighborhood, while run down, while short on funds compared to the rest of Tuzankin, there's no longer people sitting trying to find shade. There's people working and trying to make shade for themselves. People loading up ships more frequently. People having lunch together and laughing, which is not something you saw the last time you were in the West Docks neighborhood. So,
Billy wants
go
to
ahead.
kind of like just nudge Marway and say, "You see, once we rid a devil of the area, people return to happiness." Gesturing to kind of like everyone's, much more pleasant demeanor around the West Docks.
Look, Bula. Look what we did. We got rid of the evil, and now people are happy.
People are happy.
People are working. From what Bula can see, people are working. That's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now we just have to find the rest of the devils and the rest of the hags, and we can kick their butts. And then there'll be more happiness.
That's the
A
trick
spirit?
there, isn't it?
It's on the to-do list. But we need to find the Griffin's Breath. Yep. That's where Surge will be. Oh, Bula, Serafina. Surge is the water Genasi ship captain that we will be hailing a ride with. In exchange
Fair.
Sounds exotic.
a little bit of light work while on the ship.
And our
Alright.
favor with the Crimson Cloaks. Hey.
Okay.
We were a bit trapped. We thought that most of our party would be okay with it. But they said there was more opportunity to make more favors. So made it
Did you tell him about our
he's aware.
extra friend?
Yes, he's aware, and he's aware of the struggles that the extra friend will cause. As far as I know, everything's tip top. Guy's been talked to, or at least we're going to talk to him. Name drop who we need to name drop, and we'll be on board in no time.
Well, let's get to it then. I'm all right to work for my supper.
All right.
Okay.
You all walk onto the docks, and at this time of day, this like pretty early morning, there's only a couple ships, and they're all pretty well like emblazoned, labeled with their names. So it's pretty easy to spot this longer cargo ship emblazoned with the name that you're looking for, the Griffin's Breath. You make a beeline for that direction, and you see a crew of 4-ish people. They appear to have already loaded up the ship and are just kind of like desperately killing time because they can't take off with just 4 people. One of whom is a clear. When I say clear, I mean like clearly a water genasi, as in they are see-through. They are a person who is made of water. They have spots where they've like frozen their own bodily fluid in order to look like clothes. Like it looks like this sash and then this like loincloth sort of situation, covering their unmentionables. But this is clearly the only water genasi, and therefore is very likely Captain Surge.
Captain Surge. Yeah, I'll walk up to him and say, Captain, how are you this morning?
Oh. Things are, well, unproductive, if I'm being honest. How may I help you?
Well, we heard that you were having a little bit of trouble getting a crew together, and our friend... What was that compier's name?
The compier, I have it right here, Tomes.
Tomes. Compier Tomes, that you said you might need a little assistance making your voyage south. And so we're here to help.
Leave it to
Bula
Tomes
comes
to
over.
provide for needs.
Bula comes over and kind of leans on Eidos like real hard, like almost makes him like buckle. And she's like, "We're here to help. What you need?"
We're very handy.
Well, I'm glad you asked, and I'm glad you showed up. Leave it to Tomes to make sure a favor is paid. Who we got here? We've got a first mate, Dolly Wise, and a halfling woman salutes you as she's sort of just moving crates from place to place, trying to decide where they're best kept on the deck. He points further back, and he says, that back there is Quartermaster Moore, and it's this, like, large half-orc man who is trying unsuccessfully to tie off a rope connected to one of the sails. And he says, back there, that's Carpenter, Mr. Pot. And it's this half-elf guy with a little bit of a receding hairline, a real nice beard, relatively young. And he's just kind of, like, checking over, like, he's, like, leaning over, looking down the sides of the ship, checking on the actual, like, woodwork of the ship, making sure she's ready to sail. And he says, Captain Surge says, besides these 3 half-wits, we're gonna need a bit of a crew before we can take off. So if you're hoping for transport, we're hoping for workers. So we're gonna need a... And he kind of head counts you all, and he says, you look as though you'll do. What we need right now is a capable cook to keep us fed while we're out there so we don't have to stop 3 times a day. We need a healer right now so that when we inevitably get sick, we have someone to keep us tip-top shape. And we need a rigger, someone strong enough to pull up the sails, tie off the knots. Someone who knows their way around rope, to be honest.
We have just the person for you. And,
Seraphina will reach out her hand. Lady Seraphina Blackthorn. Nice pleasure to meet you.
Lady Seraphina, a very wet kiss. Water.
Hello. My name is Marway, and I can do healing, and I'm also pretty proficient with cooking.
Well, sounds like you're the kind of people we need, and for the rest of you, you never know what you're going to encounter out on the open sea, so I hope any of the rest of you are proficient with some form of deadly weapon.
Oh, we're very proficient. And in fact, we have a 6th crew member who isn't here, and he is proficient as well. We would need to go get him. He's just around the corner, waiting on us. And this is not without bartering, we do have a favor to ask you. We have a special cargo to transport south with us. Would that be amenable to?
I assumed as much when I heard you were sent by the Crimson Cloaks.
Nice.
This isn't, would I get arrested for knowing what's about to happen on my ship?
I can't say that. I can't say safely you would not be arrested for knowing what we're bringing with us. Or who we're bringing with us.
Alright, well now I know how careful we must be. We can manage. We've shipped worse things before, I'm sure, than what you have to offer. As long as
That's
you're all
highly
happy,
debatable.
confident you look. What's that, my boy?
Oh, you said you shipped far worse. I said that's highly debatable.
Incredible. Can't wait to see what the hell you're about to bring on my ship. I am so sorry I just cursed. Ugh.
Oh,
You get in more trouble for the knots that
It's okay.
half-orc is trying to make over there. If you had your hogs like that, they'd be loose immediately. Serafina, help that man.
Seraphina will go over to Mr. Moore, the half-orc, and just gently push him aside and help him tie his knots.
Roll a sleight of hand with advantage, because you're so proficient with rope.
I feel like we need to custom add that into her proficiency. It's just
Yeah.
rope.
Yeah, she's proficient with rope.
She's earned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one, 16. Let me try one more.
Of course it is.
Taking a second.
No worries, you're making sure the rope is of good quality.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Yeah, you pushed Mr. Moore aside. He's very impressed. He says, "See, this is why I'm the quartermaster, and not whatever the person who ties rope does. The rigger." He says, "You're all on the crew." He looks at the captain. He says, "They're on the crew." And the captain gives a nod. And he says, "I'll go prepare your quarters. You may be good with rope. I'm good with quarters." He goes downstairs. Goes down below decks.
This guy's the master of quarters.
This guy is so cool. I like him better than Cool Guard already.
It's not hard.
Low
And,
bar.
Captain Surge says to you, well, hop onto the ship. Quartermaster will get your room set up. Check in with Dolly. Make sure you tell her where we need to be dropping you off. And otherwise, since you're all here, we're going to set out within the hour.
Is the place on the map where we're meeting Zada and Down Dark, is that walkable? Or
Yeah.
should we?
Yeah, for sure. You could either ask him to stop by. It's like on the way out of the bay. So you could either
Okay.
ask
Do
him
we
to
have,
stop
like,
up there, or you can walk and grab them.
We
Do
just
we
want to
have like
throw
a dinghy boat?
Mhm.
Do we have like a dinghy boat that we can kind of row over there and pick him up and bring him back to the big boat?
Oh, sure. Yeah. If that's how you want to play it.
He's just gonna pole vault anyway. Cool.
Well,
Get on the
if we,
boat.
if we do the little boat, I can help them get over here a bit more stealthily.
We just have to pay attention for whenever Zata gives the signal that they're waiting. Whenever
at that
that's
point-
gonna be.
You all kind of look in that direction, and there is already a smoke signal going. And it's very much like it's not just a fire, it's a very purposeful smoke signal. These different puffs of smoke coming up into the air from this spot, like, to you it would appear to be on land, but it's just around this, like, rocky crag at the end of the bay.
Right, they're gonna go in.
Is that what you've got going on? You've started a fire, you're doing a smoke signal, and Darkdown is, like, rushing up to the fire, reaching her long finger claws in to grab out coals, and then throwing them into the water over her shoulder.
Finger
Every now and then.
claws.
Stop that. When she does it, I'm just gonna smack her hand. Stop it.
Hisses at you every time, but keeps going back in to do it again. She likes the way the coals sizzle when they hit the water. That's what's happening.
I have to keep getting more wood because of this. Stop it.
She does a creepy side hop every time you yell at her. But she also gives you that weird, creepy smile.
Yes, that's adorable.
She's so cute.
Mm.
All right. Yeah, you all help prepare the ship for taking off. Would you like to just swing by in the ship? Would you like to take a dinghy over? How would you like to pick up your friends?
Let's do the dinghy, because I can cast Fog Cloud so that people can't see them rowing over to us.
Yeah, because the docks, although they were busy in a way the first time you were here, they're busier still now, being that people in this area can now make an actual sustainable living. So, yes, you go ahead and do so. You take a dinghy over. Who rides in the dinghy with him? Just out of curiosity. Sarah? All right.
No
Marway
one
and
strong wants
Yeah,
to come roll
I-
for us.
no,
Anybody with
I'm-
muscles?
I'm gonna go with him because I'm not gonna let him go in this little dinghy by himself. He can't even swim.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
he's
didn't
not
think
by
about that
himself.
one.
I've got
You let
him.
him go.
Which, like,
Please don't split this boat.
Marway and Seraphina both went and got in the dinghy first and both sat side by side, like each on one
In the
oar.
front.
And then as
But-
soon as they see you climbing down, they both move to the front and sit and look at you like you're gonna row by.
Yeah. She just rolls her eyes and goes, "All right." It starts rowing.
Yeah, and you row them over to where you're seeing this smoke signal happening. And as you get closer, you start to hear the echoes of Sada yelling, "Please stop throwing the fire!"
Double
You hear-
D, stop it!
you hear Darkdown going, "But I like the heat. It's cleansing." At one point, as you're coming around the corner and you put eyes on them, you see Darkdown dart back in on the opposite side of the fire that Zada's on, as if he's been trying to body block her, but she's so fast. She ran around the other side, darts into the fire, picks up a log, puts it in her mouth, and then spits it out into the water. It's spicy. Lion King of Darkdown.
Why is
It's
it
gonna be
spicy?
It's gonna be spicy in a second. It's gonna get real spicy here in a second.
You finally see three of your friends coming around the bay on the TV.
Wait, aren't we going by land? Aren't we?
Or
Gonna
by
go-
sea.
we're
Two
go-
lanterns.
We're going to get in the boat, and then we're going to go to the bigger boat.
You see Zada bristle. He's like, boat?
Cats hate water.
I don't have a problem with water. I have a problem with the insane amounts of water that is around us.
Yeah, Zada's one and only experience with boats has been from coming from the eastern continent to the middle continent, which is an incredibly dangerous passing. So Zada's only experience on a large ship on the open ocean was tumultuous at best.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he is real like I don't can we just go by land? We could just walk.
Well, you see, we've already traded a favor for the ride, so at this point we kind of have to do it. Don't
Okay.
worry, I'm not happy about the boat either, but here we are.
Darkdown's one green eye is very bloodshot from eating the spicy wood. And looks out and sees Seraphina, like listening to Marway and Zada have this conversation, and says, "Prestidigitate! Prestidigitate!"
Yeah. She kept asking for it, and then I just cast light on her again to blind her. It's just light it on her clothes so she can't see anything anymore.
He says, "Lean, friend. Dark down. Bright down."
You are.
something.
Like,
And then I'll
when
just pick
she
her up
opens
and
her
throw
mouth
her onto the boat.
and makes this horrible purring growl sound, her teeth are like black with soot from the fire she just ate.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
So cute.
Zana just picks her up
Honey.
and throws her into the boat. Just tosses her. Incoming Darkdown.
The boat sinks about 3 inches lower.
Seraphina will cast Prestidigitation on Darkdown.
Down clean.
So clean. Oh, you love it. So
Sees your little dragon in your lap, and like doesn't even ask, just scoops her up.
oh, they
Darkdown
like
says,
each other.
"Clean lizard."
Oh yes. Do you like it?
Darkdown likes clean lizard.
Yeah. So as
Yeah.
she's cuddling my pseudo dragon, I will bring out a huge pink box with a giant bow on top, and I'll hand it to her. This is for you.
Darkdown. Gift from gods.
It's a gift. Why don't you open it?
Gift not from gods.
Gift from France.
Yes, from Seraphina.
Gift from clean friend Seraphina. Not
Yeah.
gods.
Yes. Why don't you open it?
Like uses her teeth. to tear it open. Rips the lid off the box. Pulls out what's inside by her teeth. Clean present.
So clean.
Eat.
No.
Takes out of her mouth and holds it up to the light. For where? For put on?
Yeah, we put it on so we can hide.
Swims up through it and into it. Does not like put her arms through the armholes. Is just wearing it
Excellent.
tightly around her neck and body.
That's actually pretty perfect. And I'll keep her hands steady.
I'm not gonna argue with that.
So pretty. So Seraphina's gonna help her with her arms and then like
Oh,
put the
so,
little wig on her.
Mm. That was one problem we almost had solved.
Dungeons and Dragons, where you can roleplay dressing a toddler.
You say push, 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 push. Dark down. 50.
Oh, you're so pretty. And then she'll like
No,
turn her
that's
to
so pretty.
everybody else. Bula, what do you think?
Yeah.
Maro is the only one clapping.
Starts like flapping the long sleeves of this cloak.
Yeah, no, I
Turn the hood on and off.
see it.
Playing peekaboo,
Alright.
like putting the little dragonling under the hood and popping it off and putting the dragonling on and popping it off.
Oh,
we-
they're having fun.
We should probably get back to the boat before someone else comes to look at the smoke cloud.
I put it out. It's
Oh, just kidding.
Take your time.
It kind of
Hush
looks
your
like the
mouth, Vicky.
time that my cousin's cow got stuck in the clothesline, but I mean it's covered, so
Alright. Y'all start paddling back toward the boat as
Oh,
Darkdown and the little dragonling are playing just the creepiest game of peekaboo. Like at one
As we-
point, the dragon accidentally like sticks a scale in Darkdown's giant eye, and Darkdown goes picks the little dragon up by the throat and gives it a little kiss. It's back down.
Oh, love each other.
As we get around the bend where people would be able to see us, I'm going to go ahead and cast Fog Cloud to kind of keep us a bit more hidden.
Zada is at the back of the boat. His claws are dug in to the side, and he is just sitting there. It just has no expression. He's just looking straight ahead and just has his claws in and just waiting.
For the rest of you, Zada has had a traumatizing night. Zada thought he was ready for anything, but the gods did not protect him from Darkdown's freakiness.
Nor water.
Nor the water. Well, yeah, and it's like a 4-minute paddle back over to the ship. And your water genasi captain casts create or destroy water and helps to just like lift the dinghy up so that you're at deck level when you climb out of the dinghy. And you step onto the boat.
So Bula gets onto the boat and she just kind of reaches over and almost just like scruffs Zada and just like pulls him
You
into
hear
the boat.
like wood tearing because his claws are stuck in there.
Lots of splinters under those cat claws.
Yep. And then he just, as soon as he's on the ground, he's just all claw, and he's like trying to move, and it's just no paw, all claw.
Glad to see you're doing well, Zada.
I'm fine.
Oh, good. That's great. We need to get this thing below deck.
Darkdown is hanging out with the little dragon and just holding its face to her face and just saying, "We're clean. Find gods, we kill the gods."
Darkdown.
Don't say things like that.
I heard the gods need you down below deck. They need you to stay below
True.
deck.
They spoke to us.
Listen to gods. Starts to climb up the main mast.
Oh, you fucking...
No god is just hanging on to the mast halfway up. No gods for Darkdown.
Killian's gonna
I'm
like
gonna
lean.
cast Guiding Bolt on her. I'm gonna cast it. I'm just gonna cast it.
Roll the hit.
Oh god.
15.
1 second. Wasn't ready. 15 hits.
That'll get her down.
No.
46? Okay, let's see.
I thought he said 46 for a second. I was
46
like, oh.
He just went through all this trouble and he just blasted her out of the sky.
He had enough. That's
Immediately.
That's 11. She got hit
Oh
real
my
hard, guys.
gosh,
She got hit real hard.
Dude.
No.
19 points of damage.
Oh no.
She got blasted. That was 2 6s, a 5, and a 2.
It's blasted off of this mast, comes crashing down to the deck with 15 points of damage. And
Goes over, grapples her, and starts dragging her downstairs.
Oh my god.
she puts her eyes on you. Her eye, sorry, singular eye. Roll a Constitution save.
Oh, we're gonna get more secrets.
Oh boy.
This was not a deception
16.
save.
Oh,
Oh,
that's right. It was
true.
perception. Yeah.
Okay.
16.
You take. Hold, please.
Oh, please.
You were with her all night. Now you do this?
He was almost at the whole time. He was this close.
You take 3 necrotic damage.
Okay.
But she's laughing. She's laughing real hard.
He's just gonna like, grapple her using Dex because I'm a monk. And he's gonna try to just pull her downstairs.
He says, "Friend of the gods doesn't like Darkdown. Friend of the gods doesn't like Darkdown." Gets pulled down below deck.
That's a terrifying image.
Oh, that was eventful.
Killian wants to like lean over to the dolly. It's like, she's harmless. It's okay. Don't worry.
Seraphina will go down to make sure Darkdown's okay.
Shelly says, "You know, we've had worse first meets on this ship. It's fine.
Good.
Let's go, folks." Gets everybody moving to take off. Seraphine, you go downstairs and you see Darkdown is just like in essentially a headlock by Zada, who's dragged her. And Zada, through his tan fur, looks green in the gills.
Yeah.
And they're both just like barely struggling, just the gods doesn't like surprise.
Seraphina's gonna
talking.
start slapping Zada. Be like, let her go!
I'll put her down when I can lock her in a room.
Yeah, I'll turn to Dolly as well. I'm assuming I'm standing by Killian. It's like, do you have a what do they call it? Brig?
She says, yup, and in fact, we were gonna make it one of your rooms, so we might as well make it the room of whatever that freak of a thing was.
It'd probably be wise, yeah, if it's still in use. Or
She says, I'll go
yeah.
downstairs and direct him that way.
I appreciate that.
And she goes below deck, and you
As
guys
soon as
see
you
her
open the door,
Seraphina and
you
Zada come down.
Yeah, as soon as you open the door, you just hear Zada hurling.
While still holding Darkdown?
Yes!
Oh.
While still holding Darkdown.
You're
Prestidigitation!
you're beneath Darkdown. You have her in a headlock. You hurl onto Darkdown. Seraphina is just and Darkdown's going, Darkdown not clean! Darkdown not clean!
Yeah, you're right. You're not clean anymore.
And Dolly leans down. She's pretty short, so she's already kind of at eye level with Darkdown, and she says, Darkdown want to be clean, eh? Darkdown says, Darkdown clean now! And she says, go in the room with the bars. And Darkdown rustles out of your chokehold while you're in the middle of gagging on an empty stomach, just kind of like pulling a bile. Darkdown goes skittering fast into this little barred brig of a room. And Dolly closes the door on her and says, you know prestidigitation? To you, Seraphina.
Oh, I'm very familiar.
Please. I'd rather my underdeck not smell like lion sick.
Seraphina will start casting prestidigitation all around.
Darkdown is very happy and very sleepy. And curls up and goes pretty fast. Especially when your little dragonling crawls between the bars and goes and cuddles up next to her.
Aww. Seraphina will just watch them sleep.
And otherwise, above ship, up on the deck, you all see the ship. The sails have been unfurled. They're not tied off very well because the current rope master is distracted. But the sails are open and the ship is pulling out of the bay of Tuzankin.
I would like to walk over to Bula, and I'm going to take my staff off of her back. And I don't think I've described what Marway's staff looks like. It's like a wooden stick with like a metal crescent moon almost at the top of it. And Marway's just gonna kind of run his hand across the crescent part of it, and then like wave it almost like a bubble wand. And there's gonna be like a bubble come out, and I'm gonna cast Druidcraft, and this bubble will tell me what the weather will be like for the next 24 hours.
Lovely.
Andy on a ship.
Yeah. The carpenter, Mr. Pot, is next to you when this happens. And it just tells you, it doesn't just like say
it shows like almost like an image, like a thundercloud if it's gonna be rainy, a nice like picture of a sun if it's gonna be nice and sunny.
Lovely, yeah. This carpenter is next to you and he says, nice. So it's gonna be a pretty easy day, huh?
I would certainly hope so.
Alright, then I'm not gonna worry so much about waterproofing. I'm gonna go below and make sure that just the parts touching the sea are the parts that we're worried about. And he goes below and starts. You hear some hammers going. General carpentry happening. And it appears to be, for the next 24 hours, you're going to have smooth sailing, warm skies, sunny skies, and a good wind. A good headwind.
Excellent.
Yeah, and you're all well on your way. You see the city of Tuzankin shrinking behind you in the distance. and people are settling in. Once the ship is really going and picked up that headwind, there's not a lot to be done. And the carpenter, Mr. Pot, comes back up top and has an open mug of beer in his hand, of ale in his hand, and says, well, who's up for a game?
I could use
Well,
I'm always
game
up for
if
a
it's-
game.
especially if it involves some of that ale.
Oh, we got ale. And you see behind him the quartermaster, Moore, the half-orc, comes up carrying this big ol' barrel of ale and slams it down on the deck and says, we'll tap it, let's play.
Ooh.
not all of us are able to drink the ale. Do you
I'll
have to
take his.
give water?
That's alright, we can play with water, that's fine, we have fresh water here, and they pull out a cask of fresh water from below decks to make up for it. And they said, who knows the game Dizzy Duragar?
Can't say I've ever heard of that game.
It's a good one to pass the time and to test your sea legs. And,
Zada and Maraway's legs already shaking.
Yeah, Zada is like shaky. He's like, I can win. I can totally win. It's all gone now.
I put my hairball over the rail.
out of his tool belt, he pulls out this like long-handled wooden mallet that he uses to like hammer in wood planks down low on the deck. And he says, all right, what you're gonna do, I'll show you how first. He lays the head of the mallet, the actual mallet part, down on the deck so that the handle is sticking straight up. Puts his forehead on the tip of the handle.
Oh no.
Spins around it 10 times. Rolls a 2. And meanwhile, the first mate has been setting up a barrel, a mead barrel on the other end of the deck, and shoves a tap into the barrel so that the barrel is tapped. And he spins around the mallet 10 times, is very dizzy, picks up the mallet, and goes to try and take a swing to hit the tap out of the keg. And misses horribly. Because of the 2. And the first mate says, well, the object of the game is to do the opposite of what he did. Spin around 10 times, hit the tap out of the keg, and you win. We all get to drink. This is the game. Who's up
Can I
there?
go first? I want to go first.
All right, here you go, satyr boy. She hands you this big old tall mallet, puts you 10 paces away from the keg. Go ahead and roll a con check as you take your 10 spins around the mallet.
No shit.
No shit. You gotta be lying.
Got it.
Yeah. Nat 20, honey.
That's your catchphrase, Zada.
Got it.
Hell yeah.
Hot. Yeah, you're drinking water. You thought you'd have trouble on water, but you saw Zada go down and you're like, no, I'm doing better than he is. And although the ship is rocking in the bay waters, you manage to you spin around the mallet 10 times, you pick it up. Tell me how you go over and hit the tap out of the keg.
It's quite literally like, you know, when you're at the carnival and they're watching, like, you know, the mallet like hits. You know when you see like the 3-year-old girls and they're like dragging the mallet almost. It's
Yeah.
very reminiscent to that, and then just like over the head and like stumbling forward as it hits it.
Perfect, yes. You use the weight of the mallet in and of itself. Though you are weak, mallet is strong.
Mallet is strong.
And you pop the tap right out of the keg. And although you go, I don't drink the alcohols.
But Lula, you can drink it.
I got you.
You see, that's my secret. I'm always dizzy.
And the whole crew, yeah, he's got his sea legs. Who's next?
Zada's gonna like shakily walk over. He's like, if he can do it, I can do it. I can.
You can do it!
All right, yeah, Zada goes. You lean down, you put your forehead on the mallet. Go ahead and take your 10 spins, do a con check.
Oh, con check. Okay. Yeah, so
Come on,
11.
11.
Oh,
Now roll a dex check with disadvantage.
2. So that's a 5 total.
You sure do try, but you are already dizzy before you ever start spinning, to the point where it doesn't feel much different after you're done doing these 10 spins around the mallet. You pick it up, and you head toward what you think is the barrel, but it's actually the main mast.
No,
You take
he's
a very
like,
powerful
he's,
swing at it.
he's gonna go swing, and then he's like starts to throw up again, and then so he just like drops the mallet midway and just hoofs it to the side.
Definitely. You throw up into the ocean.
It's got a very distinct like hairball sound though.
He's got nothing left. He's just dry heaving at this point.
Yeah. All summer
my
fire.
favorite thing there is that all the cat owners just all did a hairball sound.
First mate Dolly says, okay, that was pretty gross. Maybe a different game. Let's try something new. And she goes below deck with Mr. Pot, and they come back up carrying this wooden table, this like 8-foot long wooden table, and they set it down on the deck. And they say, "This game's called Flip a Tankard. Who wants to play?"
I know.
And they lay out all these steel beer tankards. 5 along one side of the table and 5 along the opposite side. And they say, 2 players per team. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I grabbed Bula so fast.
Who else plays?
Like she would partner with
Oh, we're
anyone.
playing against them?
Zada goes up and just grabs Eidos and be like, "We're going."
Begrudgingly take his place at the table.
Eidos, I like to think you've seen this game played before.
Oh yes, they used to play this back at the school Seraphine and I attended. We were undefeated for some time. See if I still have it.
Academy.
Look at the academy.
Yeah, all these beer tankards are lined up along the edges of both long sides of the table, 5 in a row, and to where they're upside down, and the lips are just hanging off the edge of the table. And first mate Dolly explains, "This is a game of dexterity. You very carefully flip the edge of the cup so it lands right side up. And the first team to finish all 5 and flip them correct side up wins. And of course, the winners and the losers drink because this is a drinking game." She bangs on the table and says, "Players ready."
Ready.
And both sides are prepared. First ones up are Marway and Eidos. First one's on that end. You can choose whether you flip 2 or you flip 3, and then you can decide when it's your partner's turn. That makes sense.
Well, we're gonna
What, two
flip
cups at a time.
You can flip 1 at a time.
Hmm.
So you flip 1, flip the next, and then you can decide if you're going to try and flip the third or if you're going to give your partner 3 flips, because there's 5 cups for each team total.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I will do 2.
Well, you can decide after you flip 2, but yes.
Okay.
All right,
I
go
just
ahead
don't
and flip your
understand.
first cup. This is going to be a sleight of hand check.
Oh, I see. I'm an idiot.
Would it be frowned upon if I guidance myself?
No one's looking
Excellent.
for cheating. This is a sailor's drinking game. Go ahead and both of you roll a sleight of hand check.
Outside of hand. He looks happy. 10.
And
I see.
Ooh.
it
They
was
both.
a 6 plus my 4 guidance.
You both managed to flip them both. They don't leave the table, but they both land on their side. So you have to reset the cup and try again. Roll it again.
on, Ados, you got it.
3.
Marway?
24.
That'll do it. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, that's
Marway's.
not even including my dexterity.
Good God.
25, just kidding.
Yeah, Marway, yours perfectly lands. It does 3 flips in the air before it lands perfectly right side up. And you get to move on to your second cup. Ados, your cup falls to the floor and shatters.
Oh no!
Is this the game over? Is there an
No.
extra?
You have to
No, you
miss a
just
turn
have-
while you go and find another cup.
Okay, I'll rush to the cup table.
Yep.
Okay, I guess we're going for cup
Marway, go
number
ahead and roll
2.
for your second cup. Ados has to sit out one.
You're not going to believe me, but it's a dirty, filthy 20.
You
Nasty.
dirty, filthy.
Dirty, filthy. It's a
Specific
19 with
fantasy
a 1. It's a 19 with a 1. 19s are hot today, y'all.
Yeah, the second cup, Marway lands perfectly. Like, doesn't even have to try a second time. Just, he's gotten a hold of it. He flipped it, landed just like the first one. Like, they're side by side. The handles are facing the same direction. Ados, you now have your cup. Again, you're still trying to land your first cup, and Marway's on his third.
I'm gonna look to Bula and see if she wants to go with the 3 or if she wants me to do another one.
You seem to have the luck tonight. You've got this.
Now it's gonna be a 1, now that you've said that.
All right, both of you can go ahead and roll another sleight of hand. Ados, you've got your new cup. You're ready to flip it. Go ahead and flip your new cup.
Okay.
Sleight of hand.
Seraphina will chant their school.
What does it sound like? What are the lyrics?
Nerd is
Can
here.
you
What's
sing
our
it for
mascot?
us?
We sure can.
Our mascot is an owl bear.
Yeah, definitely you're out.
And
Mascot
I'll
is
start
Oliver.
like
Yeah, you're going hoop hoop roar, hoop hoop roar.
I rolled an 8.
An 8.
oh no.
I got the 7.
Eight
God.
to 7. Both of your glasses fall off the table and break.
Oh
Okay, I'll rush to the spare table and I'm going to try to trip him on
Yeah.
the way.
no!
Okay.
Dirty.
Roll-
Friendly.
Yep, both of you
Friendly-
can roll your
friendly
sleight of hand, but Ados, I need you to roll your sleight of hand and your stealth.
I already feel bad.
Just remember, Bula's watching.
Oh, it's just a. It's
Oh yeah,
just
the
a
rest of you are
game.
gonna roll perception.
That was a 4 to trip.
It doesn't work. You can't even reach him.
Sorry, too
You're
quick.
so lucky.
His little hooves are so happy. They're bouncing. He'd be tapping over there. What was your sleight of hand for your flip cup?
Oh shit, we were doing it again.
Ooh, dirty, nasty 20.
Dirty nasty 20.
That's
And-
okay. I've got the filthy little 19.
Nice. Yeah.
Wow.
As Ados lands his first cup, I believe, right?
First cup.
Marway lands his
Yeah.
third.
We'll get
Um,
there.
I'm going to raise my hand to do a high five with Bula.
Yeah.
Do you have guidance for sleight of hand now?
Nice.
Trixie.
Perfect.
Trixie.
All right,
When have
Ados
you ever
lands
known a
his
Fae to
second.
play fair?
Never.
Yeah, Ados just landed his first cup. You're finally starting to feel yourself. You've got to land your second as Bula starts her first of 2. Go ahead,
Okay.
both of you roll a sleight of hand.
God,
Bula, you have that guidance.
boiler alert.
So, 19.
Oh my god.
4.
What is
It's like you never went to
happening?
college.
It's been a long time since
He
we were
did.
in college.
He did a lot of studying in school, okay?
Yeah,
Not
I
a lot of partying.
I didn't feel like going to those parties anyway.
Yeah, Bula stepped up. She had been watching Marway's technique. She lands her first one, and you drop another one on the floor. You don't smash it, so you can pick it up and put it back. So
Okay,
both of you
alright.
go ahead and roll your sleight of hand again. If Bula makes this one, they're done.
Well, hopefully she doesn't.
Hmm.
Is it a 1?
Please be a nat 20.
Please be in that one.
No.
No!
Captain Third
Ah,
says,
is it not?
"What?"
Oh, there you go.
Isn't that one which makes
Cup
it
just flies.
which makes it a 2? She got real excited. She flipped it way too hard. It just like goes over the side of the boat into the ocean.
Yeah, you hear someone below go, "Oh!"
I got a 10. So
10. Yeah, it doesn't land. It falls off the table.
Oh, God.
You go ahead and roll again.
This is
You
so
asked me to get a cup.
embarrassing.
17.
I'm going to get a cup.
17. Ados finally lands glass number 2.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
Mhm.
immediately go to high five Zada.
He
0?
high-fives.
Nothing happens, but you're in.
And you're now welcome to pass it on to your next teammate. Well,
I-
Bula is still trying to land her final flip.
Final one. Come on, Bula.
Ready?
All right, here we go.
You still have guidance.
I don't
Only
think
lasts for one check. One check.
No, it's not.
Is it now? forever?
2024 guidance. If you can pick a
Aw.
specific skill, and they have it for a minute. So I pick sleight of hand.
so bad. Even with your guidance, it's still going to be a 6.
Oh my God!
Okay.
So that's gonna be a 21 for Zada. though.
Yeah.
Look at him.
This is a good
Zada's-
game.
Zada's ready to redeem. Zada's cup doesn't even do a full flip. It just, floop, just lands right on its table.
Precision.
Although you're nauseous, you're like, yeah, I'm barely.
No,
looking.
Zada is like in the zone. He's just like
Yeah.
balancing. He's just like.
Yep. Your cat reflexes, like you land on your feet, your cup's gonna land on his feet.
I
All
only
right,
have
go
2
ahead.
more to do.
Both of you go again. Yep. He has 2, while Bula only has to land 1.
Am I good to go again?
Yep,
We'll have to go
ahead,
get
Bula.
another cup. With a 6, did
gonna-
it break?
Did it
It
break?
did
or
break.
did I-
Yes, thank you. Bula's broke, so
Oh,
Bula
okay.
has to sit out a round.
I rolled an
Okay.
natural 1 anyway, so I.
Oh,
A wasted round.
Yep,
Alright.
Yep.
You're both back in. Yeah, Zada's cup broke, and so
Mhm.
you have to sit out a round. Bula gets a roll.
Come on. 9.
9. It broke.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Dropped on the ground. Gotta go
That's
find
so
another
sad.
glass.
You hate to
All
see
right,
it.
I'm running. I'm running.
I
Zada
can
gets a
actually
free
roll.
roll. Yep. Zada,
Dion,
go
this
ahead.
is so intense to watch. This is amazing.
We're gonna not have any
11.
glasses for this journey.
11. Lucky
11.
it rolled off the table, but it didn't shatter. So you can pick it back up
Catch
and put
it.
it
I
back
was
on.
like, catch it real quick.
Yep, exactly. Now you're both back on. Go ahead and both of you roll again. Bula just needs to land 1 to win.
Do I still have guidance?
yes.
19.
Oh, you guys
Was that 5 or
won.
4? Oh, man.
Zada, yours does not land, while Bula's, she's shaken. She's nervous. She puts that cup on, the new cup.
I hit the
flips
table
it.
as soon as it's ready to go down.
It does multiple flips. You hit the table, and somehow you hitting the table makes the table come up and catch the glass
Oh.
that
No.
was flipped. And therefore it lands. And the
Oh.
crew all go, yeah! And they take the keg that they had out for the first game and fill up Bula's glass and say, chug, 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 chug.
Oh, she doesn't even have to chug. She takes it in 1 gulp, and the whole glass is gone. And they're just like,
Gone.
okay.
Incredible.
Little
with
did
that-
you know, Maraway is very, very good at janky carnival games.
Why does that make sense?
It makes so much sense.
In a fight, who knows what's happening? Janky carnival games, I'm coming for you.
As like the game kind of dying down a little bit, Killian's just gonna hop over to kind of like the front of the ship and just find a place to kind of like sitting on the edge, but he like maybe leans up against some ropes that are there to kind of support himself. And
Jack, I'm fine.
yeah, and he's gonna kind of rifle through his bag and pull out that book that he got at the Paramnesia place and just start reading to himself.
Oh, it's a romance novel.
Smut book.
Was it Song of the Siren?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
just like very like
Book
making
for a boat
sure no one can see like the cover that he's reading, basically.
You, like put it inside a textbook. Yeah, the first few chapters, they outline the experience of this young man who his family is pretty destitute. He's living in a pretty messed up society where he doesn't have much choice except to follow in his father's poor sailor footsteps. And by the time you finish reading, when someone comes over and starts to chit chat with you, you're at the point where he just met this woman who's like unquestionably morally gray, and she's clearly not supposed to be an ally of his, but he feels drawn to her.
Saucy.
Nice.
Spicy.
Spicy.
Is Killian a little bit flustered?
Blushing a little when Marway comes over and says, "What are you reading?"
I wasn't reading anything.
What is this?
I don't know how to
See
read.
me and Bula did the triumphant victory.
Yeah, that was amazing. It's so awesome. It was great. I wasn't reading anything.
Helium, you look like you're embarrassed.
And
Is that land over there? Oh.
and as a whole day of drinking games on this deck has passed, and you've well past the point of being able to see Tuzankin. You're out on the open sea, and the sun has just started to go down. The sky has just started to turn orange. And you hear the laughter of all the people playing games behind you all.
Near
You
the
watch the
laughter of
sun-
Darkdown.
Yeah, you watch the sun begin to set as you hear Darkdown and the little dragonling below decks going. As the piece of the night is.
They're enjoying themselves.
And that is where the sun will set on this session.
Someone's gonna be like this against the mast, just holding the mast asleep, just like this.
About his claws are just
Yeah,
naturally
just dug
dug
into it.
There's like scratch marks all up and down. Stress
Oh, there's
scratch.
scratch marks all over the deck. Like the deck is scratched to fuck.
The carpenter has just been following you around, sanding things down. And yeah, that's gotta be it for tonight. Thank you, Knights of D20. What a dream. Thank you to our viewers. We love you. We'll see you next week. Reading? What's that? I'm illiterate. Wasn't reading anything.
I'm just looking at the pictures. What pictures?
What
Where's the
pictures?
Pictures. Oh my.
We need
that
to
kind
talk
of
about
Illustrated.
Gross.
Nice. I'm only reading the articles.
I'm going to figure out right now,
I'm
as
ready.
I've been shown how to raid.
Do it.
I'm gonna
You
do
can
it.
do it. I believe in you.
Fill up the time that's currently happening so that I don't feel so weird.